Sports on 710. Meanwhile, other games set to get going. Reds on the road to take on the Pirates. Astros and Yankees. We'll be keeping our eye on that one. Astros on the road to take on the Yankees. A's taking on the Orioles in Baltimore. Detroit welcomes the Angels to town. Braves and Marlins in Atlanta. Guardians on the road to take on the White Sox. Rangers host the Phillies. Brewers and Mets get together in Milwaukee. Cubs and Cardinals. Great rivalry. That's happening in St. Louis. And the Red Sox taking on the Padres in San Diego.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We are live at Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park on a glorious day. Absolutely perfect day outside for baseball. Perfect day to keep the winning streak going as the Tampa Bay Rays come to town for a 3-game series. It's Ichiro weekend here. Giveaways happening. I think they're giving away jerseys tonight, so there's already a line of people outside the stadium lined up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big weekend out here at T-Mobile, and more importantly, not that it's not important to celebrate Ichiro and the retirement of his number, because it is. Mariners got to win this series. They got to keep the ball rolling. We're getting down to a precious few games, and it's a nip and tuck battle in the West. You're now a game and a half back of the Astros and sitting firmly in that second wild card spot. Hopefully, they could overtake the first spot if the division doesn't fall their way. But a lot to cover. We'll have conversations coming up. We caught up with Dominic Canzone yesterday for a few minutes after his walk-off hit. Paul Moyer will join us at 3 o'clock. Saw him in the press box last night at the Seahawks game, and he told me that the people are coming up to him asking about the Bandon Boys. The Bandon Boys are getting publicity, and now listeners are starting to ask about them.
Are you sure they didn't say abandoned boys?
I'm just going with what he said. So he said that we can ask him. He'll join us at 3 o'clock. And then we'll have our weekly conversation with Charlie Furbush. He'll join us here at Edgar's from 4 to 5 p.m. And hopefully we'll catch up with another Mariner player. We'll see who that's going to be later on in the show. And then Mean Text today. It is Friday, so get your Mean Text rolling at 866-979-3776. We'll turn you over to the pregame show at 5:30, so 5:15 for Mean Text. So you got some time to get creative, get those things flowing. Maybe you're not feeling so mean because you're in a good mood about the Mariners, maybe in a good mood about some of what you saw in the Seahawks game last night. We'll get into all of that, but this was a big series, man. This is you never go in expecting a sweep. I don't care how bad the team is, what their struggles are. They're a professional team. We've seen the Mariners get locked up by subpar pitching, and we've seen them lose games where you're going, what on earth happened there? But they found a way when not everything was going right offensively, and that's a huge sweep. That's a huge win yesterday.
Yeah, that was big time, and for them to stick with it and go 11 innings. Great day yesterday, by the way. That was so much fun. Being able to just walk right across the street. I actually had my Mariner polo on here. And then in the back of my car, I had my Seahawk polo, and I went and used it as a locker room. My car switched over, went over and watched some football. But no, that was a thrilling end. And then getting a chance to talk to Dom Canzone afterwards. Guy is a very steady character.
Yeah,
that's for sure. But this is huge. And I was trying to think of, was it the Nationals where they came in here? They weren't playing well. We beat them like 8-1, and then they took the other 2 games.
It might have been. There have been a number of games this year I'm going, what the hell, man?
Yeah, and you don't want that to be the one that you look back on, and so they took care of business with the White Sox. So that was huge. Like you said, I mean, they're still professional baseball players. I mean, you can get beat in this league, and they took care of business. So it was good to see, and it's just starting to really be exciting watching this lineup come together.
Yeah,
and then who's contributing, and you're getting it from sometimes it's the 7 and the 9 spot.
Yeah.
So
which was the case yesterday. We'll go through all that. Let's just hear the walk-off, though, here from Canzone.
Here's the stretch, and the next offer on the way. Swinging a ground ball into right field for a base hit. Here comes Suarez rounding third. The throw to the plate by Taylor, the slide, the tag, safe at home. Suarez, a walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone. The Mariners win it 4-3, a walk-off single for Canzone. He's being mobbed out there at first base for the Mariners, their second walk-off win on this homestand. J.P. Crawford, a walk-off two-run home run on Friday against Texas. And the Mariners win it in 11 this afternoon.
Two things when that happens. I love that they just, whatever is in the dugout, they bring it out there and throw it on.
Oh, yeah.
Canzone. Like it was bubble gum, I think, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. They always throw the gum, and then they put the little mini tub of it on the head.
Yeah.
The little bucket. Yeah, it becomes a crown of sorts.
And I'm always afraid somebody's going to get hurt in those celebrations.
Yeah.
A toe gets stomped on or something. But no, it was fun to watch that. Great call by Rick, by the way.
Yeah.
Buddy Rick Riz.
Riz fighting through a cold too. So
Yeah.
he stepped up in the heat of the moment there, and Dan Wilson after the game just breaking down that walk-off moment.
Yeah, again, not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That's not what we needed. Able to get kind of the perfect hit to get through the hole there, and allow Gino to come in and score. Just a great at bat, and those are clutch situations. We were pretty sure they were going to walk Garv. With two lefties behind, and sure enough they did. And Dom just put up a outstanding at bat there to win the ball game. And that's clutch hitting, and not trying to do too much, staying with who you are, and playing to your identity. We've talked about that a lot, but that's what he did in that at bat, and he was able to deliver.
He delivered, and he's been delivering since he got called back up from AAA, and he's just he's been rock solid. He's been a very nice addition to this lineup when they've needed it, and they needed it yesterday. I mean, look, you took this, and by the way, the White Sox, the record's terrible, but they've been hot. Look at their record in the second half since the All-Star break. I mean, they just took a series from the Phillies. I think they've won 4 out of 5 series. I mean, they've been putting up a ton of runs. So, yeah, record-wise, you look at it and go, well, that's a team you should beat. But they were on a bit of a roll, and they've been putting up a lot of runs. And this pitching staff and the bullpen yesterday, fantastic. We'll talk about that. But the Mariners' offense, they produced 4 runs on 6 hits. They had 5 walks. They struck out 16 times. Yeah. They struck out 16 times yesterday. It was not a good day. They had 6 total hits. 4 of them came from the bottom of the order. It was Polanco, Garver, Canzone, and Crawford all had a hit each. The other 2 hits were Julio had a hit, and then, of course, the 2-run bomb from Randy, which was obviously huge. But, yeah, it was the bottom of your order. You had 6 total hits in 11 innings. You struck out 16 times. And then Canzone comes up with his first career walk-off, and he does it against the lefty.
Yeah. Well, and what is he? He's hitting like 258 against lefties right now.
I think it's better than that. I think he's hitting better against lefties than he is against righties.
Maybe I don't have this updated, but this says 258. He's batting 287 overall, but off the lefty there. And somebody was just texting in, somebody that I probably should have called numbnuts, and you suggested that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they said he's terrible against lefties.
Yeah. I'm like,
inaccurate.
Very inaccurate. And then he went and proved him wrong.
Erroneous.
Yes. Yeah, so it was awesome, and I just love. What was he in the 8th spot yesterday, Dominic? So I don't know. It's not like I love it when that happens, where you don't get hits from Cal or Randy or Julio or whatever, and you do from Canzone or Cole Young or whatever. I mean, I guess I don't like that, but it's nice to know that if you're getting a win and you're getting production from the bottom of the lineup, it's just awesome. So love that, and it seems like it's just all coming together.
Yeah, it was. Look, and that's the way it's going to go. That's baseball. 162 games. Nobody's hot from game 1 through game 162. Right now, Cal's not hot. He's been scuffling pretty much since the beginning of July. It's just been a rough go for him, but the team's winning in spite of that. There are other guys are stepping up, and that's what you need. And again, yesterday, looking at that offense, that made the win even more impressive to me because they just were not having it offensively. It just wasn't there for the team. They were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 men on base, yet they found a way. And it's just, in large part to the pitching. M's pitching goes 11 innings, gives up, this is all combined, obviously, 3 runs, 7 total hits, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts. Logan was great, but he wasn't efficient in that he was out after 5. He threw 94 pitches through 5 innings. He only allowed 2 hits, gave up 1 run, but they're fouling balls off. He walked 3, so that pitch count got jacked up, but he kept them in check, kept them, 1 run. Then you had the combination of Ferguson, Vargas, Spire, Brash, Munoz, Bazardo, and Kowar. All of those guys combined to go 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 unearned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
7 pitchers.
So
7 pitchers from the bullpen.
Pitching kept that team in check.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, like you said, for Logan, only able to go 5 innings because he got his pitch count up to 94. So, yeah, I mean, taxing your bullpen a little bit there, but, I mean, it wasn't like anybody was out there for a ridiculous amount of time. So got it done with the pitching, and that's, starting to come around again, being the dominant pitching team that they've been over the last couple of years.
Yeah, and they need it. I mean, that's the reality. They need it. There are going to be times where, for whatever reason, the offense goes dead, gets it's a little bit flat. That was the case last night. But that's what good teams do in any sport. We talk about it with the Seahawks. We talk about it with any team in any sport. Not every day is your day. You're going to go out there. Things aren't going to be right. Maybe in football, you turn the ball over. You're 3 and out, but you hang in there, and you find a way to win. And that's what good teams do. And that's what the Mariners did. That's what made yesterday impressive to me. We're bringing up all these stats that aren't flattering, certainly for the offense, but you found a way in spite of all that. And that's a good team. That's what a good team does.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. I left that game with a lot of confidence. I thought that was a more impressive win based on what they had to overcome and what they weren't able to do offensively, yet they found their way through it. And to me, that's a huge sign. That's they're clicking. There's a great vibe. We were in that clubhouse. There's just a great vibe. There's an expectation that they're going to win. And, here you are. You're a game and a half behind the Astros in the West. You're a game behind Boston for the number 1 wild card. You're a game and a half ahead of New York in that second wild card spot. And you're 3 games ahead of Texas. And now Cleveland has moved their way up for that 3rd wild card. So it's all neck and neck. It's changing by the day, obviously, but it's a lot of fun. And yesterday for me, again, was a very impressive win of the 3. That's the one that was most impressive to me.
We really had 16 strikeouts.
16 strikeouts. It was bad.
You look at these numbers and you go, well, I mean, it's just a scrappy win, no question about it, because the 16 strikeouts and then, 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. You left 11 on base.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for them to be able to get a win somehow there is it's a good sign. Mike was talking about, Dylan Moore and his trials and tribulations. I was just looking at, I broke his season down and, in three different parts. But if you look at the first, there was 4 games in March and then the month of April, 78 plate appearances. He was batting .286. 346 on base, 557 slug, 903 OPS, 20 hits, 17 strikeouts. And then you go to May, 65 plate appearances. He's batting .237, 292, 390, 682. 14 hits, 23 strikeouts. But then you go and look at June until now, 037.
Hey, he's had 2 hits in 2 months.
037, 2 hits and 60 plate appearances. It's just 31 strikeouts and his OPS 226. I mean, man, I don't know. I'm thinking for a guy like Dylan Moore, maybe they're thinking, hey, look, this guy's a really good ball player, and look, he's a good utility guy, but he's got to come back around. These numbers have to correct, right?
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. He's been this guy for a while now, and it's I almost feel bad for him because he's not. I think it's really hard for anybody to work their way out of a slump when you're not getting regular turns up at the plate.
Yeah.
Right? So he's getting a pinch hit opportunity here. Then he may not play for a couple games. And this is not me advocating for you throwing him in the game more often. That is far from what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be fair and realistic. This could be anybody who's scuffling and they're not playing much. And then, okay, you're gonna pinch hit in this game. All right, you're going to sit for 2 or 3 games. Okay, you're going to play this game. There's no rhythm to it.
Yeah.
He's a pro. He's a veteran. He's the longest tenured player on this roster. So he's got to get it figured out because right now I look at him and if I'm Dan, I'm thinking I can't put him in there unless there's just nothing left, unless I'm out of bats, I'm out of bodies on the bench. He's got to be a last resort because it's not helping the team, it's not helping him. And he goes up there and, you know, he's 0 for 1 on the day. He's 196 on the season, but to have 1 hit in July, 1 hit in June, and he's 0 for August so far.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I wonder what the conversations are like, you know. Is it like, hey, look, this guy's too good of a player to, you know, to have these kinds of numbers and he's going to correct? You know, we talk about when we were doing the whole bullish and bearish thing, you know, and I know that it kind of hinges on the conversation of he's due, right? But that's kind of like, you know, you're sort of going, I don't know. That's not a good strategy, basically. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious if, you know, having these conversations and, you know, how much it depends on, you know, what is he saying right now, or what's his demeanor like in the clubhouse, and, you know, is he just down, is he beating himself up or whatever. I mean, it's kind of an interesting case study there, just because, you know, you look at he really has been a pretty solid player, but man, this has been a really bad stretch for him.
Yeah, you just can't afford it. You got what? Where are they at? 116 games. So quick math. What do they got? 46 games left, right? Is that right? 46 games. They all mean the world.
Yeah.
Every one of them matters. Every one of them means something based on how close the wild card race is. You're a game and a half behind your division leader. You just can't look at a game. All right, we're going to run him out. He's going to be our starting shortstop today. We're going to give him 4 turns up at the plate. You just can't do it. I mean, I get that JP is going to need a day off. Guys are going to need a day off. He's going to be needed in spots, but you got to limit that exposure. You just do. It's just where he is right now. And I was quizzing Lefko yesterday. Every time somebody would come up, I'm like, "What's your level of confidence right now? Scale of 1 to 10 on this guy. What's your right now 1 to 10 on this guy? Where you at?"
Yeah.
You know, and when Dylan came up, it sounds like we're just ragging on him. Not trying to do that, but I think Lefko, you gave like a 3 or something. I gave like a 0.5. I was just like, I just don't feel it. I don't think he feels it. More importantly, that's the hard part. I think his confidence has got to be rattled. He's a human being, man, and he's got, 30-some thousand out here screaming and yelling. He feels the pressure. He knows. Everybody looks up at the big board, sees those numbers. So it's right there. He's just kind of laid bare in front of everybody, and I can't imagine he's not a little rattled right now.
What's your level of confidence, Mike, that we're going to get some clever texts
Well
or
played
mean
there.
text?
Right now, with Bob yesterday, 0.5 on a 1 to 10 scale. 0.5 level of confidence, they'll be good.
So, and I'm sorry to put it this way, but so you think our texters are the Dylan Moore of texters?
No, Dylan Moore's better than our texters.
That's what I thought.
in every way.
Jeez.
So
That's what I thought.
Dave.
You remember he's had one.
Dave, I can't believe you compared
Hit
Dylan
in
Moore
July.
to our texters.
I know. That was mean.
That was really mean. Man, take this next segment off.
Oh,
But you're right. 0.5 level of optimism right now that they'll get mean texts in, especially because it's a little bit earlier tonight. 5:15, not
Yeah.
5:45. So we're going to have to remind them a few times. They're going to have to wake up earlier, get the brain waves going. So I don't know. We'll see. what we get.
Brainwaves. Boy.
Rubbing the brain cells together,
Rubbing them. They can start a fire.
Spark a fire.
Yeah, hopefully a spark happens there somehow. But we'll see what goes on with our texters. 866-979-3776 for your mean text. We got a bunch of people that are asking about Naylor. I haven't heard an update on him. We were in there when Dan was talking to the media after the game. We'll talk more about this later, but Dan didn't seem too worried. I'm not going to try to parse what he said too much, but his demeanor wasn't one of being overly concerned. It was like a sore shoulder. And then somebody had brought up, I guess he had a sore shoulder in Arizona earlier this year. I wasn't aware of that. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know.
Aggravated it again.
Well, it was on that swing. He swung and then bent back kind of in an odd fashion. I thought, is that his back? Is that the core? Is it going to be the low bleep? Is it going to be one of those? That's what I was waiting for. But the word is a sore shoulder. I haven't heard an update. I know they were going to do imaging or something last night, make sure everything's everything, but they didn't seem overly concerned, and hopefully it's minor because he's been big. He's been a producer since he got here.
He's been phenomenal, yeah, and I just kind of made you hold your breath there for a little while when you saw the look on his face. So, yeah, hopefully he's okay and it's not anything. I don't know. To me, I thought it was probably going to be something in his core, just because it was kind of a weird swing that he took, and he was just reacting to the pitch. And hopefully he'll be better. But man, he has been just, and I just expected the bat when he came in. I was excited about that, but watching him play at first, the base stealing, I mean, he's been integral to this resurgence here the Mariners are having in their lineup.
All right, let's take two.
No actual injury update yet, but he is not in the lineup. So no Naylor in the lineup tonight. Dan Wilson does speak at 3:05, so if there is one, or if there is one that they are willing to give, you'll get more there. But you're right, he did say day-to-day yesterday, so perhaps it's just that. But it's Donovan Solano who starts at first. He's batting 7th. Then Luke Raley, he is beginning a rehab assignment tonight in Tacoma.
Trying to remember what Luke's injury was.
That was the low bleep.
That was low. Oh, that's right.
He's still coming back from that. Yeah.
Is that the one
Was
where
it?
it looks like
No,
This is a
this is the
separate
new one.
one.
Yeah,
This is
that's
a new
right.
one.
He got hurt again. What is the new one? Uh-oh.
Yeah, because
You're right.
the low bleep thing was where it looked like he got shot.
Yeah, that was during batting
Yeah.
practice, and this
That
was
a
it
while
back? Something going on. This has been a lost season for him. This has been he's somebody that I'm not counting on. When's Raley coming back? He could certainly be a plus. He's got a lot of power and he could do damage, but this is just overall this even before he got hurt, he was scuffling a bit. It just
Persistent back stiffness.
so it was a back issue. I don't know if it's related to the oblique or what's going on, but yeah, a bit of a lost season for him. Hopefully he can get back and find a way to contribute when he does come back. But hope the thoughts are with Naylor. He's already proven how valuable he is to this lineup and what he does in the field and at the plate and in that clubhouse, bringing a little bit of an edge. He's big. So hopefully that's very minor.
Well, this injury was significant. Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater, who just signed a 4-year, $114 million extension a couple weeks ago, suffered a patellar tendon tear in practice yesterday. He's out for the season, so a massive blow to the Chargers. And then big news in Carolina tonight, Shedeur Sanders will start for the Browns against the Panthers.
You think Jerry Jones is looking at that deal going, see?
Yeah.
You sign big money, guys get hurt. That's why I'm not signing Micah to this huge deal. I mean, because he brought up, well, guys sign these deals, then they get hurt. Well, yeah, that's the game you play. And that was like the biggest contract in the history of an O-lineman, right? In terms of annual average value. So, yeah, that's devastating.
It's brutal. Yeah, I mean, and patella tendon, I mean, that's one of the bigger tendons in your body. That's
Jimmy Graham.
Horrible. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, too bad. I mean, look, it's the Chargers. I mean, we don't really have a vested interest. I still like Jim Harbaugh. Talked to his son Jay down on the sidelines the other day, yesterday actually. But yeah, I still kind of pull for him. But yeah, just I mean, I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that happen, especially for the team. Giving up that much money, and the guy's a big part of their offense. It's terrible. But Sanders, that'll be interesting tonight. See what he does, because that was probably the biggest story of the draft, right?
Yeah, it certainly was. All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Seahawks preseason opener might have ended in a tie, but there were some obvious winners from last night. We'll get into all of that coming up with Wyman and Bob live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park at Seattle Sports on 710.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell. This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James D. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC 238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC 138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA 270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
It's back to school time again, and parents are pretty stressed out.
Can you blame us? The supply list, the sign-ups, the scheduling.
At least haircuts are easy at Great Clips.
It's true. With the Great Clips app, I checked him in before we left home, so we were in and out in no time.
I got a great haircut, and Mom got to check something off the to-do list. She really loves that.
Back to school can be a lot, but haircuts are easy at Great Clips. Download the app today.
Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the luxe staples insiders swear by, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You gotta love baseball season. But when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Do you find yourself searching the medicine cabinet for pills and sprays during allergy season? How about having to buy one more medication when the season hits? I'm Dr. Ryan Stern with the Stern Sinus Center. We offer a solution that will save you time, money, and frustration. Rynair is a simple, minimally invasive procedure that significantly reduces postnasal drip and stuffiness. We're taking new patients in Federal Way and in Auburn. Come see us. Book your appointment at sternsinus.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What is this music?
I still had the Bump and Stacy hotkeys up. This is my bad.
Something from the Bump and Stacy show. Not familiar with that track there. Text line is there for you, 866-979-3776. Again, mean text coming up at 5:15 today. Meanwhile, Seahawks preseason game number 1 in the books ends in a tie. So not that I honestly could not have cared less whether they won or lost. I just wanted to see things look good. Seemed like guys were on the same page. What were your take? And people can text in on this as well. What stood out to you from this game, good or bad? What stood out to you? 866-979-3776. For me, my eyes immediately went to the O-line.
Yep.
Like, all right, how do they look? The Cross was not playing. Olu wasn't out there. Josh Jones?
Yeah,
there?
Josh Jones played.
Left tackle.
Abe Lucas was out there.
He was out there. Gray Zabel was out there. Bradford was out there.
Yeah.
And I thought, I know it's preseason, so keep it all in context. I thought they looked good.
Yeah.
1 sack the entire game, and that was in the second half with Milroe.
Well, and to me, Helani, I'm just sitting there looking at, George Helani's a great kid. He's a good running back. Obviously, they kept him around. But I couldn't help but think about what Charbonnet and K9 are going to look in that wide zone run game. And you saw Helani just bounced it outside a couple of times. Another one, and I think, I'm trying to remember, was it Jacardia Wright? Did he score a touchdown? But there was a cutback where, in both running backs, just their vision is like the entire field, and he cut it all the way back and scored a touchdown. And yeah, I thought that part of it was great. Couple times, go good and bad here. Zabel, there was one play where he just looked really lost and unathletic, where he put his head down kind of, and he kind of stumbled a little bit. I just haven't seen that from him, so that's a rookie move. That's what happens. But I guarantee you that he's going to learn from that play. And and I thought for the most part they looked pretty good. But the run game, just being able to get to the edge and just spread out the defense and try to find some cracks, it was great. 170 yards, a couple of touchdowns in the run game. Loved it.
Yeah, 32 carries. They ran the ball more than they threw it. 32 attempts, 170 yards, and 2 touchdowns, as you said. You saw the commitment to it. You saw them really committing to the run, and just O-line was my first priority. My first, what am I focused on? What am I looking at? Drew Lock threw that one pick. All right, it's preseason.
I had no idea why he threw that ball.
Yeah, no
idea.
Wasn't a great throw, but I don't know. It's hard to tell when there were a couple throws where it looked like he was trying to hit Horton, and it looked like he thought he was going one way and Horton went the other. Like the ball was nowhere near him. He was still breaking toward the end zone, and the ball was like 5 yards behind him in the other direction. So there's just the miscommunication. You kind of expect those moments. Some sloppy ball out there. Yeah. Horton was a guy, I think, 7 targets. 3 catches, 31 yards and a touchdown. He was another guy that I was interested to see because of the sort of hype that we were hearing about him post-draft. Was it Lockenfora? No, it was Daniel Jeremiah, who was like, I had that guy in my top, 70 players. And he if he wasn't injured, he would have been drafted much higher. And there just seems to be expectation behind him. And he looked good. I thought he looked good. I don't know whose fault it was, miscommunication-wise. I might assume it's him since he's the rookie. But overall, I left that game feeling pretty good about what he looks like out there. And it looked like, maybe MVS has got a challenge on his hand for that 3rd wide receiver spot.
Yeah, I hear people talking about that, and I'm like, well, let's cool the jets on that a little bit. I think,
I love him.
Yeah. I mean, he's the second of the 3 fifth-rounders that they got there. And, you know, we saw a lot of Robbie Oots, who's another fifth-rounder. And I know later in the season, Riley Mills, who was the first fifth-rounder at number 142, that he's, you know, once he gets healthy, he's really versatile. But the touchdown was phenomenal. You know, I thought he did a great job sitting down in between his zone, and then he does the double spin move. I thought that was great. You know, and then, you know, there was some good and some bad stuff on defense. One of the things I think that they attacked the middle of the field. You know, there was a play where Patrick O'Connell, Patty O, drops back in the hook zone, and he sees the tight end kind of bend out. But when we used to call that a bend route, and then he bends back in and then throws it right over his head. He just kind of has to drift with that a little bit because they did attack the middle of the field a little bit more than I would have liked to have seen. There was that. But, you know, on the good side, I thought Pritchett's interception was phenomenal. And the reason why he's out on the number 1, you know, the most outside receiver, and he ends up jumping the route on the number 2. And, you know, he totally fooled the quarterback on that. But at the same time, and I didn't see who the safety was, he switched with him and went over and picked up the number 1. Because if you're, you know, 15 yards downfield, you see the quarterback throwing it towards you, you don't know whether it's going to the number 1 or the number 2.
Right.
And so, you know, when the safety just dropped down and picked up the number 1 as he jumps the inside route and gets the pick, man, this is just a very well-coached defense, and, you know, they have the ability to do that. You know, you have a safety over the top that's going to cover for you, because if you jump that inside route, then all of a sudden, you know, you see the ball go sailing over your head to the number 1 that you're supposed to be on, which Pritchett was. Yeah, I thought that was a phenomenal sort of little glimpse into what they do coverage-wise that confuses other teams.
I thought I must have had him reversed, because I thought it was Job that jumped, and Pritchett was the one that caught the one that was just really underthrown, where he kind of was just like a center fielder catching a pop fly. I thought he was, because this was the second one, right?
I thought it was the other way around.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Texters might remember. But the first interception I thought was the impressive one. That's the one you're talking about, where the guy jumped the route. I thought that was Joe.
Oh, maybe it was.
And then the other one was just a really poor throw, where he was just, you see him sitting there basically waiting like it's a pop fly, and it's just so severely underthrown. But either way, Job and Pritchett both with interceptions. Quickly, just back to the Horton touchdown you talked about. Here's the play-by-play of that call.
Now Martinez shifts out of the backfield. He goes wide to the left side, empty backfield, 4-man rush, throw, ball is caught, spinning out of the tackle, touchdown, Seahawks! Torrey Horton from 10 yards out, and this rookie, somebody said a rookie needs to make a good play every day in practice, so he's seen by the coaches. That's all Horton has done, is make big plays in practice and now in preseason games. Horton from 10 yards gets the score, and the Seahawks increase their lead to 10, 13-3.
So there he talks about the spin move that you were talking about, and here's Horton himself breaking down that spin move.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of just feel like, you know, at the end of the day, you know, in the receiver room, you know, we all kind of just harp on, you know, being end zone hungry. And, you know, that's to, you know, from Coop, that's from, you know, Jax, Valdez, all those, you know, older guys, and, you know, even Coach Frisk, you know, we want to find that end zone. We got to have a nose for the end zone, and that's something that we kind of practice on is, you know, getting vertical and, you know, making that next guy miss with, you know, also protecting the ball. So, you know, I don't know. I kind of just seen my, you know, just had a vision, seen my cue, and, you know, just made sure I, you know, made that next guy miss getting vertical. So that's something we practice on every day.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Like, I always love it when you have a young guy and he explains what happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. For me, I'm sorry, it was the blur. I had to watch it on film. I'm like, people be, what'd you do on that play? I don't remember. But
I reacted.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, he's able to slow the game down, is what that indicates. And yeah, that was
I like that end zone hungry.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I can't wait to see MVS. I mean, he's a proven pro, but like Horton has just he's been the talk of camp, and he's been doing it like in practice, and then he ends up getting it done in the game. I mean, 7 targets, 3 catches, not super impressive. But I mean, the fact that he was able to, like, just the awareness of the spin move and sitting down in the zone there, I thought it was phenomenal. He looked like a 10-year vet.
Yeah, we'll talk more about last night's game. You guys, again, can text in on it, 866-979-3776. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Meanwhile, he was the hero of yesterday's win, and we had a chance to catch up with Dom Canzone for a few minutes after the game. You're going to hear that conversation coming your way next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
With preseason game 1 in the books.
Here's Milroe rolling out to the right side and throws a dart.
The work continues going into the final week of training camp. Whose stock is on the rise?
Jalen played well.
Who's on the bubble?
Oots can run for a 270-pounder.
Nobody has the Seahawks covered like Seattle Sports.
You felt the line of scrimmage. You felt the physicality.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by The Landing in Renton.
On 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
It's a beautiful day outside. This is baseball weather, but more importantly for me and a lot of you listening out there, you're riders. I'm a rider. I love getting out on the bike this time of year. It's beautiful. It's amazing, but as a rider, it comes with a little bit of risk. And some of you have texted in before talking about injuries you sustained in motorcycle crashes, and hopefully I don't experience that. To this point, I have not, but if you're somebody that you're injured in a motorcycle crash, here's what you don't do. Don't settle for a firm that says they're a motorcycle lawyer. Trust the ones who actually live it, and that is Law Tigers. You know them, you love them. They've been around the riding community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are there 24/7, 365 days a year to help you out, because riders deserve real support when you need it most, and Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when you're in need. Now, you see them everywhere. You see the tents, you see the vans, you certainly see the billboards, you hear these spots. Law Tigers is out at all the events, supporting all of the clubs, all of the shops. They are always by your side. And more importantly, your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. You never ride alone with the Law Tigers. They are Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at PCFgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
JTV Jewelry Television knows you love to sparkle, so now's your time to shine like the star you are. Enter JTV's Shine Like a Star sweepstakes for your chance to win $5,000 in dazzling jewelry from top brands, including Rachel Zoe Jewelry and Judith Ripka Jewelry. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of $99 or more when you opt in for emails. Enter now at jtv.com/likeastar. And remember, if you love jewelry, you'll love JTV.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team, we can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open, and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handled employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, man, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, hey, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Text line is there for you, 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on whatever you'd like. Also send mean texts. Try to get creative. They happen at 5:15 today. We'll turn you over to the Mariners pregame show at 5:30. So at 5:15, we'll get to your mean text. Meanwhile,
that's where the big hand, the small hand, is on the 5, and the big hand.
Dave's calling you all dumb
is
what he's doing there.
Okay.
In case that slipped by you, that sarcasm slipped by you.
Yeah, I need to look at a clock, apparently.
Meanwhile, we were all here yesterday for the game, which was a tremendous win for this team for a lot of different reasons, but it ended with Dom Canzone coming up with the game-winning hit, and he was out there talking to Jen Mueller after the game. Then he was in the interview room talking to the assembled media. So by the time we got him, he was gracious enough to spend a couple minutes with us at that point. So we had a chance to throw a few quick questions at Dom Canzone yesterday after the big win.
How's it feel, man? This is the vibe in the clubhouse now. You guys are under 50 games left to play, and you come up with a huge hit to complete the sweep. Give us a sense of what it's like in this clubhouse right now.
I mean, everyone's just having a ton of fun. I mean, it's baseball can be a tough sport at times, but when you're having fun out there and you trust the guy next to you, it's just every day's been a blessing.
You try to stay really disciplined in situations like that. I mean, obviously your adrenaline's going, but what was your mindset going up to the plate at that time?
Yeah, I mean, the guy has been known for a little bit of control issues, so I was really trying to hone in and get something in the middle of the plate. So I think that was the biggest part. A few deep breaths in those moments definitely help. So, yeah.
What's been the difference with you since you've come back up from AAA? Did you work on anything in particular, or was it just, hey, I need to get my confidence back, or were there mechanical changes? What did you do down there?
I guess down there, from a mechanical standpoint, is just being a little bit simpler. Just trying to really shrink the plate and swing good pitches. Obviously, easier said than done. But then once I got up here, talking with Sites and Mags a lot more about just from an approach standpoint, just trying to stay in the middle of the field. Because I always knew I had the ability to go the other way and stuff like that, but I really haven't shown it at the big league level yet. So that them helping me with that from an approach standpoint and not just trying to pull the ball all the time has been, I think, huge for me.
What's it been like with the new guys? You got Naylor and Suarez and Ferguson, and since that point on, has the personality of the clubhouse changed, or what's the feeling?
I don't know how much, I guess the culture has changed so much. Obviously, with Gino being back, the good vibes are definitely there. But, yeah, just having those guys has been huge. Obviously, they're great players, all-stars, and just getting some help in the bullpen, obviously, with Ferguson, another lefty. It's just comforting to have those guys in the lineup every day, and they've been obviously doing a great job so far.
How much are you watching the teams around you now every night, looking at what maybe Houston did, what Boston, New York, Texas has done?
Yeah, I mean, you try not to focus on that type of stuff. Try to win the games in front of you, because if we keep playing at this pace, I mean, nobody's going to catch you. So you can look at the scores. I mean, obviously it helps when they lose, but as long as we're focused on ourselves, I think we're going to be in a great spot at the end of the year.
Dom, you got a big play like you did today. Who's the first person that's texting you? Who's blowing up your phone when you make a play like that?
Definitely the parents and the girlfriend, for sure. Okay. Yeah.
So as far as what's left in front of you, do you guys look at it? Are you going series by series? Are you looking game by game? How do you focus? We talk to football players who don't even know who they're playing the following week because they're dialed in on the game in front of them. How do you just look at it series by series?
I would even just say like day by day. I mean, obviously, you can look at it by series, but especially with different guys on the mound and stuff like that, you just try to take it day by day and try to win as many days as possible.
There you go. There's Dom Canzone after the game.
Probably like his fifth interview.
Oh yeah, he was doing the assembly line, the car wash, if you will. So he was, but that was cool to catch up with him for a couple of moments after the game, and a huge moment, his first walk-off in his career, and then more importantly, he does it against a lefty.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just he's been a different hitter since he's come up from AAA, and he's been a huge plus for this lineup. He's made some nice plays in right field and been certainly a plus at the plate. So good to see. I mean, he's a guy who's shown that he's got potential. He's got some talent, but you know, in order to realize that talent, unfortunately, had to get sent down, which I'm sure was tough, and go down and work on, you know, what's missing in my game. What do I need to change at the plate? How do I need to change my approach? And to this point, it's paying off for him. I mean, he's done a really nice job out there, and this is, again, without Victor Robles, who was your starting right fielder to begin the season. And, you know, he's done a nice job and giving you some pop and coming up with some key hits, working counts even when he's not, you know, coming up with a base hit. He's making the opposing pitcher work. So he's just, I don't know, pretty happy with what he's done. And you look at what he's done to this point. He's hitting 250. He's only had 31 at-bats against lefties. So he's got 119 versus righties. So
yeah, it's like 4 times as much.
Yeah, so it's not
righties.
even, but he's got a 343 on base against lefties. He's got a 344 on base against righties.
Yeah.
So he's getting on base at virtually the same exact clip. 294 versus righties, 258 versus lefties. The difference is the power. He's got all of his home runs are against righties, but he's representative again. He's getting on base versus lefties. So all of this to say, I don't want to see him pinch hit for versus a lefty if you're going to bring in Demo or Solano.
Right.
Please don't do that.
No. Yeah, I don't.
Let him take his chances with a lefty.
Right. So yeah, and that you look at just the one extra base hit against lefties, but like you said, he's getting on base. So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's always like a pleasant surprise when you get that kind of production from a guy that, and I'm not saying we don't count on him, because you count on him to go out and be a good player, but I mean, just when he picks up, I mean, there was a game recently where him and Cole Young were the only ones with multiple hits. They won the game, and so it's like picking up Cal or Rosarena when they're not having a good night, and just love that. And seems like it's been kind of well coordinated, like coming up with those kinds of games when other guys are slumping a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm going to be interested to see how Dan works his lineup when they expand to 28 in September. Presumably Robles will be back with the team shortly thereafter if he continues at this pace. I'm watching him take batting practice out there, and he looks like Robles. He looks like he's full go, but he's a better defensive right fielder than Canzone is. But you like that left-handed pop. You like what Canzone does at the plate, and he's adequate in left field or right field. So I don't know how they manage that's going to be interesting. It's a nice problem to have. You got two guys one who's been productive, the other guy you expect to be productive. How do we get them both in there? So that's going to be interesting to see how Dan handles that. Meanwhile, he's a man who has plenty to say about what he saw during the Seahawks preseason game last night, and I'm sure he's got a few thoughts on the Mariners as well. Paul Moyer will join us next for his weekly conversation as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell. This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James D. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC 238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC 138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA 270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Come in, have fun. Muckleshoot.
You gotta love football season, but when it comes to your windows and doors, you don't want any fumbles. Steve Rabel here, reminding you to trust locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their selection of windows and doors can't be beat, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars.
Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners coming off a sweep of the Chicago White Sox in an extra inning affair yesterday. They look to keep the momentum going when they welcome the Tampa Bay Rays to town tonight. Game 1 of that 3-game series. They'll send Luis Castillo to the hill in Game 1. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, other games about to get underway. Reds and Pirates in Pittsburgh. The big one that we'll all keep our eyes on, the Astros and Yankees in New York. They begin that series, so I guess we're kind of Yankee fans for the next couple of days, hoping they beat up on the Astros. Meanwhile, the A's on the road to take on the Orioles. Detroit welcomes the Angels to town. It's the Braves and Marlins in Atlanta. Guardians and the White Sox in Chicago. Rangers play host to the Phillies. Go Phillies there. Twins and Royals in Minnesota. Mets and Brewers in Milwaukee. You got the Cubs and Cardinals in St. Louis. Padres hosting the Red Sox. Go Padres. And the Rockies and Diamondbacks in Arizona.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
This is the moment many wait for.
The most entertaining.
A man of wisdom, a man of experience, Dave.
The most informative.
To bring light to a dark subject. To bring positivity to a negative world.
The incredible Paul Moyer.
Moyer out. He's here, everybody. You've been waiting patiently, and your patience has been rewarded. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You know him, you love him. He is Paul Moyer. Hi, Paul.
Hi, thank you, Bob. Good to see you from last night, so thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you. And I was telling these guys, you broke the news to me that you've got strangers. You got people coming up to you asking about the Bandon Boys.
It is funny. Here's the good news. People are listening to your show. Last
that is
night
good news.
We're doing the pregame show, and people are coming up more than normal and thanking us for doing the show. And one guy said, "Hey, I know you get paid for this, but I just want to thank you." And I'm like, "Well, we don't get paid enough, but so it's a labor of love." And then they start asking me about, "Hey, how the Bandon Boys feeling about the M's game today, and how about the Seahawks game tonight?" And I'm like, "We got a little brand going. It's kind of cool."
Yeah, Paul told me they're going to start printing up merch. They're going to have T-shirts and hats and everything. It's going to be a whole...
The Abandoned Boys?
That's right. That's right.
Well, I know
funny
I
that
get some Bandon.
It's just
Go
funny
ahead,
that
Dave.
Paul
Sorry.
comes on the show and says, "Hey, Bob, it's really good to see you, and it was good to see you last night." And,
Did he not see you?
I saw Paul.
Well, Dave did not show up for the Rabel and Wyman and Jeff Schaefer segment of the hour. I saw him at halftime. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known he was there.
I was interviewing Dom Canzone with Bob after his walk-off so I couldn't make it. I'm sorry. Didn't make it to the
Well, the game was over by then, but I get it. It's a long walk from that field over to the other field.
It is. It's a lot longer than you think.
I told Dave it's like being in Vegas and thinking that casino's right next door. I'll just walk over there, and then you're out of breath and you got a side ache and you're still not at the front door of the next casino.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are getting old.
Well, what? Let's since we're talking Mariners, we'll certainly get to the Seahawks here in a minute. But I mean, I was saying to Dave when we opened the show that of the 3 games, first of all, the White Sox, go look at their schedule. They have been red hot since the All-Star break. They took a series against the Phillies. They've won I think 5 of their last 6, something like that. They've been putting up a ton of runs. So yeah, record-wise, you look at it and go, that's a team you're supposed to beat. But they're a different version of that team right now, putting up a lot of runs. You sweep them. And you did it on a day, Paul, yesterday where things weren't going right offensively. The Mariners struck out 16 times yesterday. They were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and they left 11 on base. And all of that to say, not to point out, something negative, they overcame it. And that's what good teams do in any sport. And I'm sure we've talked about this, whether it's the Seahawks or anybody else. There are days you go out there and things aren't going right for whatever reason, but you grind and you just find a way to come out with a win, even though it's not pretty, what have you. That to me meant more than them going out and just beating the daylights out of them, 10-1.
Yeah, this isn't about being pretty anymore. This is about finding ways to win. And Bob, you're right. I mean, the White Sox were 10-5 going into that series. They had scored more runs than anybody since the All-Star break. Or they were 10-5 after the All-Star break. So they're playing good baseball. And look, to sweep anybody, it's hard to do just statistically. We know it. And so even when we're going to play Colorado later in the year, we may need to sweep them. But I was going into the White Sox series saying, look, we win 2 out of 3. That is a win. We just got to win series and keep stacking them. You get a sweep, you pull, you close the gap or you pull away from people. So it was a great win when you didn't play well. And, like Dan Wilson, he's not always going to make the right moves as well. There was a couple questionable ones. And you find ways to win those. And I think that's just where they are now. It's, you get Suarez striking out a bunch, and obviously Raleigh is struggling a bit. Doesn't matter. Just you find a little bleeder to the right field and win a game. You get Suarez scores from all the way from second base. I was like, come on, baby, pick those knees up. Let's go. And, that's probably about as fast as he's ran in the last few years. So, yeah, so I'm just excited. I mean, the crowds have been electric as well. So the Northwest they're into the Mariners right now.
Paul, by the way, we just got Joe in Bellevue said, people aren't listening to Wyman and Bob. They're just groupies following Moyer wherever he goes on the radio.
Love it.
Yeah. Hey, how good is, I mean, it just that the lineup now and just how, I mean, you feel so much more confident about it. I mean, it's just 2 guys, but it's incredible what that does and just the effect that has had on these guys. And, we were talking about, the fact that Cole Young and Dominic Canzone are stepping up every once in a while. And it's just nice taking that load off of, when Cal has a little mini slump or whatever. And just I don't know, it's like synergy, right? You get like 1 + 1 makes 3. It seems like with this lineup now.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's really nobody 1 through 9 with our everyday starters that you don't have confidence that they're going to get it done. And even if somebody's struggling, there's times when I'm like, okay, I'm not as confident right now with Cal and certainly Suarez, but I know they can get it done. There's some guys that are hot, man. Julio, I feel pretty good again with that. But Canzone, it's not every once in a while anymore, Dave. I mean, he's proven it. And not only that, he's proven it versus lefties. And it was a couple days ago where they kept him in, and it was an 0-2 count. He laced it to right field to get the rally started there. And I think it was a game that the JP ended up winning, but I can't, but whatever it was. But he ended up getting on base to start it, and they kept him in, which I like. You've got to stay with those everyday players. And, sometimes I don't always love the lefty-righty. We've got to make that move because if you don't win it at that point, those guys, those reserve guys, they're in the game now. And, they've got to win it for you in clutch time. So, yeah, I'm happy. I mean, Cole Young is going to be a fantastic player, and he's got that edge to him, that clutch gene. So, yeah, it feels good. I know they're feeling good about it. I mean, and we've all been in sports. It doesn't matter what kind of sport it is. When you're on a roll, and it's just so fun to come to work every day. And I bet they woke up this morning, couldn't wait to get to the ballpark.
Yeah, I'm with you on the lefty-righty thing, Paul. I've been pounding the table for a while now, especially since Demo's just been in the tank and Solano had that nice little couple-week run, and he kind of reverted back to what he was before. Just let the lefty. I don't care what their numbers say. I feel better with the everyday guy. Just leave him in there, and if they come up with a hit, great. If they don't, well, then you got the same result you would have received with Solano or Demo at that point. I can't justify the lefty-righty, substitution at this point because the guys you're bringing in just aren't getting it done. And, you had proof right there. That was the first walk-off of Canzone's career. He did it against the lefty. He's hitting .258 against him. He's got almost the identical on base, righty and lefty. So I'd rather just take my chances, like you were saying. I don't know if Dan will peel back from that a bit, but you got 46 games left. They're too important right now. Every one of them means the world because every day the standings are shifting, whether we're talking wild card or the AL West. So I'm with you 100% on that. Just leave those guys in there, and I'll take my chances. If they strike out, so be it.
Yeah, and I'm not pinch running for Cal Raleigh. Cal's a good base runner. And I get he was at third base, and, hey, there was less than 2 outs. We got a chance to score him at the fly ball. But Cal knows how to run. And I don't know, taking him out of the lineup when you don't score, and now the lineup flips again, and you don't have that bat, I don't know. I don't like it. But, again, I'm nitpicking a little bit because I'm sure if we went and looked at every move Dan makes on those, it's probably favors his side because if it didn't, they have enough analytics there. But I think he's starting to – it's the first time I've seen him really start to stick with the lineup. Maybe every once in a while he'll at the end of a game he'll pinch hit for Cole Young or something. But I'm comfortable leaving Cole in there too. I just think this lineup is – they just feed off each other right now. So let's let it keep building.
Hey, just quickly on Cal, I'm curious to get your take on it because he's been scuffling since July. I mean, July he hit a .194 with 283 on base. So, but the question I've got is how much of that do you attribute to the All-Star game, which was certainly after the first of the month? Because a lot of people immediately pointed to, see, he shouldn't have been in the home run derby. See what happens? And I'm like, yeah, I can't use that as an excuse because the struggle started before that. Maybe that didn't help. I don't know. But it seemed like it was the automatic response. Oh, he did the home run derby, and now he's scuffling. What are your feelings about his participation in that and his struggles?
I think the struggles, it's probably more he just needs some time off. Look, the All-Star break wasn't a break for him. He had Monday where he hit, 500 pitches, and then he plays in the All-Star game, and then he's at the ESPY Awards on Wednesday. And again, that great, go do that. But the man catches, 6 days, 5.5 days a week, whatever it may be. He's beat. I mean, nobody gets beat up more than he does. And you're just into that time right now. I just think, the recovery and, you can't afford to keep him out of the lineup. That's the hard part. But it might not be a bad one to just say, hey, let's give him a day off. Let's rest his body here. He's not hot right now. I don't love Garver at catcher. I don't love it. I mean, it's just is what it is. I mean, he had that one that he should have caught. There was 0-2 count. There was 2 outs, and he just misjudged the ball. He's not. We know where his hitting is. He's batting .213 or I think it was .213 last I looked with the number. It's just not there. So we don't have a solid backup for Dan or for Cal. And I've seen some statistics that as a backup catcher, he's actually not a terrible backup catcher when you go and look around the rest of the league. But he is for a pennant chasing team. And I don't know if Harry Ford, they finally bring him up at some point. Just to see, I know it's a lot of pressure to bring a guy up and be actually a catcher, but he's got to be as good, don't you think? And he appears to be a better hitter. And he hadn't been up in the majors, so that's a heck of a guess at that point. I don't know. I just think Cal needs a bit of a break, and both mentally and physically, and that's a tough one when you're this deep into the season.
Paul, what was the first thing on your mind after watching the Seahawks play last night?
Hopeful. My first thing was, boy, I really do. We can run the football. That was my first comment. I go, and it's a scheme, and they're bought into it. And I think they have the bodies up front that the scheme works. And so, that outside zone running, just watching Zabel. Really, I thought all five of the linemen. You had Abe Lucas was in there the first couple series. I thought Anthony Bradford looked better, Ola Timmy's, and certainly Zabel. And even the Jones kid was good playing left tackle. But what it allows us to do is, with Zabel, is just use some athletic ability. He is good at hooking. He's not a perfect rookie yet. He's got, a lot of improving to do, and he's going to be a fantastic football player. But that outside zone, we saw it. It allows so many things to happen. And that, you got the defense chasing wide. And if one guy's just not perfect defensively, there's huge lanes there to run through. And, that's what San Francisco does. And that's why McCaffrey's so successful. And then you mix in the inside zone part of it, and you get these double teams, and you're not sure if it's going to hit onside or backside. And, again, there are some big seams there. 7 out of 10 times. Every once in a while you get a no run, but there weren't many of them. And so when you run for 170 yards with just being basic, that's really encouraging. And so I saw the offensive line. They were just light years ahead of last year. That was, that's what I wanted to see. And it's there. And then you look, the other one is, you go watch play action last year, and even a little bit, I didn't really see Geno Smith. I think he threw it 3 times, so I didn't see much. Geno Smith literally did not play action. He didn't do it. I mean, he just said, yeah, I know we got a play action pass. I'm not going to play with my back to the defense. I'm not even going to give an attempt to fake it. You go watch this game. Oh, no, there was some good fakes, and it was right off some key runs. And you go watch where their linebackers were. They were 2 steps moving towards the line of scrimmage, and then they had to turn and bail. I mean, that's what we're looking for. So it's a preseason game, but really encouraging. I thought we were physical. We've got talent up to you-know-what, because you go look some of these running backs, 4 or 5 deep, and I'm going, man. I go, this guy's an undrafted free agent from Missouri State. He's 6'2", 218, and he looks like an all-pro guy. So very encouraged after that first game.
What was your feeling? The guy that there seems to be a lot of bubbling hype about is Torrey Horton out there. He had 7 targets last night, 3 catches, 31 yards, and a touchdown where he had that nice spin move. What was your takeaway for him?
Electric. He's the first one I wrote too. He is, you want to see it, in the NFL. You want to see him versus other NFL players, not just practice. And obviously college, we didn't get to see him a lot because the knee injury. But the guy's 6'2", almost 200 pounds. That kind of shocked me. So he's not tiny, but he's definitely the quickest wide receiver we have. His footwork. I don't think. Yeah, one was on the punt return. I think one was on his very first catch where he made a couple guys miss, and he probably went 2 yards initially and ended up about 7 yards on the play. And I just went, wow. I go, that is an explosive wide receiver. He seems to catch everything. He loves the game. He has a chance, and hopefully this is the case, to be one of the steals in the draft, because to get him in the 5th round, as electric as he appears, that's good. And actually, if you go and look at all the rookies, I was going through and marking my notes from last night and early this morning. They all played well. I mean, Arroyo played well. He's definitely got to work on his blocking, and I don't think he's going to be lined up, tight too often and us running his way. But we have other ways to do that. I think with Oots, I like him. He was only in 8 snaps, but the 8 snaps were all pretty positive, both in the run game and in the pass game. So I wasn't complaining about any of the rookies. I thought they all did what we thought they were going to be, and they're all unique players that are going to help this team.
Hey, I totally agree with you on they never sold play action. They just kind of went through the motions, and they do the same thing on defense. They're very disciplined, as far as you can't really tell who's going to rush and everything. But I thought the one play, the read option with Jalen Milroe got me really excited, just because he sold that. I mean, I think he had, he put the football in the running back's stomach, and he kind of held it for an extra beat before he was down, backed up on the goal line on that play. But I mean, I'm not saying that he's going to get 10 snaps a game or anything, but as far as like his handwork and his footwork and everything, he's looks like a magician, man. I mean, I really think his ball skills are great in that area, and I was very pleased to see him play as well as he did.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a ways to go still, learning to be in the pocket and throw on time. He's still waiting. That'll come. But it's those other things, those intangibles. I mean, did you guys listen to his press conference? I mean, the guy just commanded the room. He is so polished, very mature. I think coming partly from that Nick Saban Alabama system, it prepares guys for the NFL. Both on and for the most part, off the field too. So he's a leader with a lot of talent, and maybe he's 2 years away, maybe he's a year away. Maybe this year they find some packages that are dangerous. But I think we saw what we wanted to see last night, and it's going to be fun to watch him develop.
Yeah, and hopefully he's not jumping out of any buildings, Paul. He can jump over them, but not out of them. That would be bad. But
no. Well, he probably could though. He could probably land and spring and go. Yes, he can do it.
He's like a cat. Yeah, he just land on his feet and keep running. Quickly before we let you go, was there anything you saw, or more importantly, didn't see that you're looking at in the next game?
No, I think what I want to do is just see scheme offensively. I was watching Kubiak as well, just to see how he was, communicating and working his play sheet. He seems to be in sync. I really liked what Coach McDonald said afterwards, is that their communication is so much better with coaching than last year. Again, I don't know if that just means that there's a coach or two that just didn't want to communicate, but I think having your guy, I mean, he hired Kubiak. It's his guy, his philosophy, on the same page. It's critical when you're running an organization. And so I just think they all feel great, and they want to keep improving on their cadence and what they're doing. But no, defensively I could go and talk for a while about that too, but they're just farther ahead this year than last year. The talent's better. It's younger, and they just got to keep getting better every day. I am really excited for this team, though. It's just there's something about them, and I can't wait for them to compete on opening day against 49ers.
Paul, as always, great stuff. It was great to see you last night. Really good to see you there in the press box, and a real treat for me. And hopefully we get a chance to run into each other again before we talk next week.
Oh, I hope so. And, and tell Dave if he ever wants to show up too, we'd love to see him. So.
I'll tell him.
It was a real treat.
Thanks, Paul. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great one. Go M's.
See you, Paul.
There you go. There's Paul Moyer with us each and every week. If you missed any part of that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. And our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll stole the show, literally, last night. You're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. That is coming up with Wyman and Bob, live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park at Seattle Sports on 710.
With preseason game 1 in the books.
Here's Milroe rolling out to the right side and throws a dart.
The work continues going into the final week of training camp. Whose stock is on the rise?
Jalen played well.
Who's on the bubble?
You know, Oots can run for a 270-pounder.
Nobody has the Seahawks covered like Seattle Sports.
You felt the line of scrimmage. You felt the physicality.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
On 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Motorcycle riders, have you been out there enjoying this weather? It is beautiful outside. This is perfect weather to get out there on the bike. There's nothing better than that. It does come with more risk. We understand that. And some of you have texted in, told me about accidents you've been in. Hopefully everybody's okay. But if you're somebody that's a rider and maybe you've been involved in a motorcycle crash and been injured, don't settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. You got to trust the ones who live it, and that is Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century. Nationwide, they are available 24/7, 365 days a year, because you deserve real support when you need it most. And they are there for you regardless of where you're at and what's going on in the time of day. They're available. Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they are in need. And you see them everywhere. You see them out at, if you go to any of the events, they're out there supporting all the clubs, all the shops. You see the vans, the tents, certainly see the billboards. They are very present. Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation, by the way, always free. No fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. They're going to help you get your gear and your bike repaired or replaced, because they know how much all of that means to you. Law Tigers are with you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James D. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC-238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC-138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA-270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth G880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can easily find the right home insurance for you, even if it's not with Progressive. But if you don't choose us, then sure, okay, it's not going to work out. We're not going to cry about it or stay awake wondering what our future together would have looked like. We can't get emotionally invested even if it sounds like we are. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer allows you to easily compare home insurance rates and coverages in one place, even if it's not with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. I love you. I shouldn't have said that.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Need a break from everything? Escape to a place where anything is possible and the fun never stops. At Silver Reef Casino Resort, you'll discover world-class dining, championship caliber golf, and so much more. Come join the fun and see why we've been consistently rated one of the region's top destinations. Visit silverreefcasino.com to book your stay and discover all the exciting events and promotions we have in store for you. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5, exit 260.
Find out more at silverreefcasino.com.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part With a 5-year price guarantee on our internet, it means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, poor Steve Rabel, who's just trying to do his pregame interview with John Schneider yesterday, part of your radio broadcast that Dave's on. Even though Paul didn't think you were working hard. I know you were working hard, Dave. I heard you guys last night. Sounded great. So in the middle of John Schneider's
Stop trying to butter him up.
Thanks, Mike. That was really nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, he was hurting a little bit. Moyer
He was hurting a little bit.
Yeah,
Did Paul
Moyer
hurt
took
your
some
feelings?
shots.
Oh, I've been taking shots like that from Moyer for like 30 years.
All right, I won't make you feel bad.
I don't think he was even paying attention to what Paul was saying.
That's a good point. So in the middle of Rabel trying to interview John Schneider, here was Pete Carroll just crashing the interview.
Let me ask him what it's like getting to see this guy. How are you, Pete?
Not a big deal at all. It wasn't a big thing at all. I'm just glad to see him doing his radio show still.
That's right. He gets paid a lot of money to do this.
I know. Big bucks. Well, you're the one with the big bucks.
Well, something like that.
Anyway, I don't want to screw up your show. I just wanted to screw up your show.
That part hasn't changed.
No.
That part will always stay the same.
No.
I miss Pete. Not commentary on Mike McDonald on any level, just the personality, the vibe that he brings. He's such a unique guy, and how do you not like him? Is there somebody that doesn't like Pete, like the person? You can question the coaching and decisions and whatever, but just Pete, the guy, the man. Who doesn't like Pete Carroll?
He's always in a good mood, man.
He's the best.
I went over and talked to so the guy that was like his personal security guy was a Seattle cop for years and years, and I think he was a investigator or something. His name's John Kristoff, and he was at the game because he pretty much his job was just to kind of follow Pete around.
Yeah.
And whenever he was out in public and everything, and so Pete got him tickets and down on the sidelines and everything. I mean, he just everybody loves Pete. How could you boo Pete or say anything bad about Pete?
You can't.
Yeah, he's electric as far as his personality goes, and
he's kind of like Morosi. He's one of those guys that if you heard somebody talk about him bad in terms of him as a person, the person saying it is the problem.
Exactly.
Right?
Sweeping the dial.
Really nice game last night for George Holani, and then afterwards he was trying to do a jersey swap with his fellow collegian. I mean, they didn't play at the same time there, but former Boise State alum Ashton Genty, although he wasn't able to get it done because the Raiders equipment staff said, nope, we can't do that tonight.
Oh yeah, that's my guy for sure. So I seen him after the game. I was trying to get his jersey, but apparently, their EQ guys said they couldn't give it.
Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's a rookie. I mean, I know he's a first-round draft choice, but
are they limited in the number of jerseys they have? I got to imagine they're available.
I get the sense that Mike McDonald not so excited about that part of it. like, here's what I like about.
Well, that was the Raiders equipment guy.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, as far as that going forward, I'm curious if that's going to happen. And I have to say, I always say that I long for the days when we all hated each other.
Yeah.
After a game, and going over, and I know Mike's not like super into that, and so I don't know. Maybe their equipment guy just was old school or whatever, and is like, you're still a rookie or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, 2 guys out on the field, 2 running backs out there from Boise State. I can understand why he would want that.
What if someone came up and asked you for a jersey when you were playing?
When I was playing?
Yeah, what would you have done?
No.
If some offensive guy.
You would have said, I only have 2.
What am I supposed to wear next week? I mean, yeah, I don't know. These guys must have just dozens of jerseys. But yeah, I don't really get that, because what are you going to do with it? I guess if you have an extensive I Love Me room, you're going to put it up in there probably. I think I've seen, there was somebody, they were doing a profile on an ex-player, and he had like 15 jerseys from
Different
other guys
players
that he played against. And
it's kind of cool.
I guess so.
It's not about him. It's about the other guys being prominently displayed on the wall.
Well, my jerseys are still in a plastic bag.
They're in a hefty bag tucked away in the corner of a garage with spiders and webs and maybe a rat or 2 in there.
Moth-eaten, probably.
Last worn by a high school kid who sweat all over it and didn't wash it.
I told you that story. We had a fun day when I was practicing over at Interlake when I was coaching over there, and they had a practice where it was a crazy jersey day. So I brought a whole bunch of my jerseys for the kids, and it was everything from an all-star jersey that I had to my high school jersey, all that stuff. And
whoa, you let somebody wear your Worcester jersey?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a big deal.
You're right.
I hope they appreciated that.
I love that you know the name of my high school. But
we all do.
I'm watching one of the kids, and like it was my I think it was my East-West Shrine game jersey, and he pulls it up and blows his nose on the inside of it, and I'm like, okay.
I would have said it's yours now.
Yeah. I think.
Congrats. That's your new
that
jersey.
one in the washer.
Sweeping the dial.
Well, it wasn't just a reunion on the Raiders side with Pete Carroll coming back and Geno Smith coming back. It kind of was for someone like Drew Lock as well, who was teammates with Geno Smith. And actually, this was pretty interesting. After the game, we learned from Drew Lock that he still works out, still in touch regularly with Geno Smith.
I got to spend some more time this offseason with Geno, throwing in Miami with him. So it felt like it hadn't been too long since I'd seen him get to be around him, but seeing Pete was really cool. Yeah, like I've mentioned before, he's meant a lot to me, and building the confidence back after being traded. I really appreciate him, and he's definitely a major part of my football journey.
Do you think they did the backpack thing when they saw each other?
That's right. They had that thing going. I still never figured out what that was. It was. I mean, if he was really, truly,
it was a backpack, yo.
Putting on a backpack, it's just not the most gangster thing you can do, right?
Dude, I got the pack on. You good? You got yours? There we go.
Yeah, I remember saying, like, are there guns in the backpack, or are there like, did he go to the just came from the library?
Yeah, bags of Skittles. I don't know what's in there. It's just, but in all seriousness, it sounds like it was a genuine relationship between those two. Yeah. I mean, certainly when you're on the same team, and maybe you're gonna be professional, but you don't necessarily like the guy, or you're competing with each other, so there's that tension. So you may question whether the relationships are legit, but obviously if they're working out together in the off season and they've maintained that friendship, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Geno just don't, like we've talked about, just don't really have an attachment with him, and just somebody, he means that much to Drew Lock. That's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting to hear, just because with Geno, I mean, we know he loved Pete, that's for sure, because he was talking to Pete all last year. But he just didn't make a lot of connections here in Seattle, but that's just kind of his style. I mean, I think he kind of carries himself more like a linebacker than a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a bit of an edge to him, and we saw pictures on I tweeted out some of those that somebody had in the stands had that sign that said, who's a bigger bust, Geno Smith or Jamarcus Russell, which didn't even really make sense. I know Jamarcus was a Raider, But that's really the only connection. Jamarcus was first-round pick, number 1 overall. Geno was a second-round pick.
Right.
Geno's much more accomplished. Certainly, that's, again, not setting the bar high. Geno's been a Pro Bowler. Jamarcus is maybe the biggest bust in the history of the NFL. So, weird sign, but there's other pictures of Geno giving him the double birds, and, you know, I don't know. In that setting, I kind of feel like the fan won. Like, don't even give him the attention. Just don't give him that satisfaction. Like, I got under his skin. He flipped me off. That guy kind of feels like he won now.
Well, that guy got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, you lost. You lost that one. So, yeah, not a great move by him. But, I mean, he's just, everybody's built differently. And like I said, he's kind of got a surliness to him.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to pass this along on a different note. This was from Divish about an hour ago. He said, Josh Naylor said he wasn't concerned about his shoulder and said it would be fine. I like that.
Cool.
I like that. So that's good news. Again, he's not in the lineup tonight, but I like that. Hey, don't worry. I'm not worried about it. It's all going to be good. Maybe it's just managing some. I'm not sure what's going on in there, but yeah, that's good news. That made me feel better.
Yeah. So whoever the moron texter was that texted in earlier, did you see the one where he's like, he's out for the year, he's done, he's having surgery?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
That's not shocking. All right, coming up, it's a return to the usual suspects for our Wyman of the week, and that is coming your way next as we continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell.
This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lowe's knows when you're looking for reliability, the right brand makes all the difference. And now, Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retailer for the Whirlpool water treatment line, including their Wi-Fi softener, under-sink filtration system, and more. With Whirlpool's proven performance and our everyday low prices, better tasting, better quality water is within reach. Shop pro-trusted brands like Whirlpool and more, in-store or online. Lowe's, we help, you save.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife. The other day, we had Andy Ryder. He's the mayor of Lacey and, more importantly, a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife in studio. This was a couple of months ago, but I'll tell you what, a couple of things that really stood out. Number one, the treatment for Swedish Cyberknife. It only takes 5 sessions. And Andy was able to complete treatment in 1 week, Monday through Friday, while continuing to work full time. And each treatment session lasts less than an hour. So he's able to remain comfortable during the treatment. You can wear your street clothes in. He didn't experience many side effects other than just mentioning he was a little bit tired. But if you compare that with other treatment methods where you have to have surgery or a catheter, I mean, it's night and day with Swedish Cyberknife. Also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. Andy holds him in very high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk about building a sports team and trying to find stars and superstars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. It's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. And Swedish Cyberknife treats patients from all over the state, and also you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James G. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC-238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC-138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA-270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snare, that's short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper.
What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the WHYMAN of the week.
WHYMAN is presented by Mazda of Everett, and a couple of regulars appearing in this week's edition of WHYMAN. Let's start with the guy that El Hombre affectionately refers to as False Face. That'd be Jerry Jones, and he was at Cowboys training camp a few days ago, and I guess he became frustrated with a reporter who asked about the timeline to get a deal done with Micah Parsons.
Again, your definition of urgent is not necessarily. I don't believe you gave a definition of urgent. Okay, and so I stay urgent. Okay.
Any confidence that he will be on the field against Philadelphia?
Again, no, absolutely not. That has to. A big part of that is his decision. How would I know that? I'm just saying. No, but I'm urgent.
All right.
Have you ever described yourself as urgent?
I stay urgent, Dave.
Always
What are you
urgent.
talking about? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can imagine, if you don't know Jerry Jones and you're hearing that, it's like, okay, he has been getting asked every type of question about Micah Parsons, and I get that he's probably annoyed by that.
That's his fault, because he's the one that's putting himself out there to the media. He doesn't. How many owners are out there in front of the camera as much as he is?
Yeah.
So, and he's not a dumb guy. He knows he's going to get asked about it. Right? Just like he did about Dak, just like he did about C.D. Lamb, just like he did about anybody who's a high-profile player that's in the midst of a contract dispute. It's going to be a story until it's not.
Yeah.
The end.
Right.
So he can't act surprised or irritated because you're the one that's allowing yourself to be put in front of these cameras and microphones. That's your choice. Nobody's making you do it. So if you're irritated, look in the mirror, man.
They have to lead the league as far as like just media attention, the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of it, and
they're America's team.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's like them, the Yankees, Notre Dame football, like is known not worldwide. But yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah, he's aware. It's so yeah, get as irritated as you'd like, Jerry. This is you could stop it. You could just stop doing interviews.
I think we've got a new quote though now. Way to answer. How are
I'm
you
always
feeling?
urgent.
I feel urgent today.
I'm always urgent. All right, this one comes courtesy of Boomer Esiason, who doesn't like the carefree nature with which Juan Soto carries himself on the field.
And quite frankly, there was a chance yesterday that when Juan Soto hit that ball, that he might have been thrown out at first base if it doesn't go out of the building. Because he's loafing out of the box. Now I don't expect him to sprint to first base in a situation like this, but he watched the whole thing and
gets out by literally a foot.
By a foot, and it's back in. And you know what? This to me is like a rear, and he's got a nice smile on his face, like he's laughing. I'm sick of it. I want to see attitude. I want to see, when the Mets had Gary Carter, they had Ray Knight, they had, they had guys that would fight. They would go on losing streaks too, like every baseball team does. But I don't ever, and maybe I'm forgetting things, but there were times where these guys would be fighting each other. They were fighting.
They're punching
each other
Eric Davis in the face on third base.
Right, exactly.
In Cincinnati.
And this team looks, this team looks overpaid and underwhelmed.
He's sick of it. The guy that leads your team in home runs, leads your team in on-base percentage. I don't know. He's sick of it. So he'd scowl. He'd be a big fan of Naylor.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, because apparently the way your face looks determines how you're playing out there.
Right.
And look, maybe Soto was loafing and he shouldn't have been. I don't know. I didn't see what the home run that he's talking about, but the idea that I'm sick of it, like he's been this big pain in the butt and he's the reason why they're not achieving what they should be achieving is, I don't know. Is he trying to be a hot take guy? It sounds like he's to have that level of angst over. He's out there smiling. And I'm sick of it. And he's, the look on his face. They used to fight each other. That's okay. It's a weird take.
Yeah, it's funny. We had Ryan Rowland-Smith in studio, it was probably a year or two ago. He was just going on and on about what a great guy Juan Soto is. Mm-hmm. He was talking about how they were at some kind of a party at a friend's, one of his teammates, and he was like picking up dishes and doing, helping clean up, and he's just a solid guy. And like you said, it looks like he's just trying to find a reason to have a hot take and get angry at Juan Soto.
Yeah, he's I get that his average isn't great right now for him. He's hitting 249, but he's got almost a 400 on base. I mean, the dude is getting on base. He leads your team in home runs. And he got off to a slow start this year, and he's putting up the numbers. So, yeah, I don't know. We're not watching every Mets game. Maybe there is something to be agitated by in the terms of the way he carries himself on the field, but it just felt like a hot take.
Yeah, it did. And like he's forcing himself to do it. Like he doesn't really believe it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm sick of it.
Do you think somebody texted in and said, stick to football, Boomer?
Probably.
Yeah. I'm sure he heard that.
Yeah. I think he's just looking for a reaction. Let me just get somebody, either they're mad at Soto or they're mad at me for saying this, but give me a reaction, I think is what he's looking for. So Lefko's doing the. What are you doing there with the eyebrows?
No, he's
Charlie
looking at
Furbush
the-
is here, and I'm showing him the Ichi wings.
Oh.
Our spotlight bite.
Oh.
We can read next segment.
Free food. Lefko reached a new level of intensity now. He's feeling urgent.
He's
right
like
now.
pointing
our
at it.
job to
He's
talk about
staring
them.
at it.
Yeah.
Why don't you just go over there and get yourself?
Well,
one,
I'm a
Mike?
professional. We have a segment to finish up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Quickly,
Sure
one more before we move on to the Ichi wings. This is Titans head coach Brian Callahan puts the unfair expectations on Cam Ward by comparing him to Joe Burrow.
My favorite part about it is I see some similarities in their ability to process information, and so it's been fun to sort of compare and contrast where those guys have felt really comfortable and then where maybe they have some things that aren't quite as easy for them as you would want it to be to start. It's been a cool process for me in general just to be able to reflect back on that and then see where Cam's at now. I think it's going to be fun to compare as we keep going.
Yeah. On one hand, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Comparing me to Joe Burrow.
I don't know. Is he creating an expectation amongst Titans fans now that he should be the equal to?
Yeah.
Is that how you see it, Lefko?
Well,
Is that
the blogs have already run with it. That's
what?
You
What are
pick
they?
a headline. Brian Callahan compares Cam Ward to Joe Burrow. So that's
It felt like
people are running with it.
It felt like a light
You
comparison.
know how things get misconstrued. So
Yeah.
now he unfairly gets compared to him, and this is the best quarterback in the NFL. And now Cam Ward, whatever he does, it's not going to be Joe Burrow.
So now every time he fails,
get
they'll go,
scoffed
he's
at.
no Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got to watch that quarterback series. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah.
I think. And Joe Burrow, obviously,
good in it,
one of them. Who are the other ones?
Goff and Kirk Cousins again. Your boy, Jared Goff.
Yeah, I like Jared.
I don't think you really do. I don't feel like you do. All right, coming up, Charlie Furbush is going to join us here in person at Edgar's Cantina. We got a lot to discuss with him. That is coming up next as we continue with Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
With preseason game 1 in the books.
Here's Milroe rolling out to the right side. It throws a dart.
The work continues going into the final week of training camp. Whose stock is on the rise?
Jalen played well.
Who's on the bubble?
You know, Oots can run for a 270-pounder.
Nobody has the Seahawks covered like Seattle Sports.
You felt the line of scrimmage. You felt the physicality.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
On 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Motorcycle riders, have you been enjoying this weather, getting out there on the bike as much as possible? Because I know I have, and it's great. I look forward to it each and every year, and I hear from a lot of you guys on the text line, and we talk about, obviously, some of the downsides. You're more exposed. There's more risk riding a motorcycle, and a lot of you told me about injuries you sustained in crashes. I luckily am knocking on wood right now. Hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it doesn't. But if you're somebody out there that is a rider that's been injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. A lot of them do, and they're really not. You got to trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years, doing it nationwide. They are there 24/7, 365 days a year. Why? Because riders deserve real support when they need it most, and Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they are in need. Now, you see them everywhere. You see them out at all the events, supporting all of the shops out there, all of the clubs. You see the tents, you see the vans, certainly the billboards. The Law Tigers are always there by your side, and your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles, so they don't get paid until you get paid. They're going to help you get your gear, your bike repaired or replaced because they know how much all of that means to you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
It's back to school time again, and parents are pretty stressed out.
Can you blame us? The supply list, the sign-ups, the scheduling.
At least haircuts are easy at Great Clips.
It's true. With the Great Clips app, I checked him in before we left home, so we were in and out in no time.
I got a great haircut, and Mom got to check something off the to-do list. She really loves that.
Back to school can be a lot, but haircuts are easy at Great Clips. Download the app today.
Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualify imported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James G. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC 238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC 138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA 270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight after a 3-game sweep of the Chicago White Sox. The Tampa Bay Rays are in town. Game 1 coming your way tonight. Luis Castillo on the hill for Game 1. So hopefully keeping that winning streak going. You can catch it all right here starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, gambling regulators in Ohio want to prohibit sportsbooks from offering what they call micro bets, including betting markets on first pitches at Major League Baseball games. This comes in light of the gambling investigation into 2 Cleveland Guardians pitchers. The Ohio Casino Control Commission, at the request of the governor out there, is reviewing the types of micro bets currently offered by the state's books on all sports before drafting a rule to remove some player-specific props from the list of approved wagers.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We are live at Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. As fans are starting to come into the building, there's tons of fans outside of the stadium already. Everybody waiting to get their Ichiro jersey today, including our guy who's on set with us right now, you're not wearing your Ichiro jersey, Charlie Furbush. Where is it, man?
Where is it? I don't know. I should get one.
Yeah, well, look, see, people are wearing them right now. They're putting them on. Everybody very excited and very worried about being one of the first 20,000. I'm guessing this
Where's
part.
yours?
I didn't get one.
Oh.
They didn't give me one. Got here too early.
You got Ichi wings, though.
Ichi wings are delicious.
Those
right
are
now.
fantastic. That's one of the best things they've had out here. It's always good, but yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, in honor of Ichiro, I see it, Lefko, thank you. In honor of Ichiro's induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, the Mariners retiring his jersey tomorrow night. We're trying another fan favorite food item here at T-Mobile Park, the Ichi Wings, available in section 105 using the very recipe created for Ichiro in the clubhouse kitchen. How about that?
Nice.
They made a special recipe just for him.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's getting thumbs up from everybody out here. So there you go, section 105. Meanwhile, this team is rolling. And before we talk about what's in front of them, I want to get your reaction to yesterday's game because of the three. First of all, the White Sox were red hot coming into this series. I think they were 10-5 coming out of the All-Star break. They're piling up a bunch of runs, took a series from the Phillies. So the record's a little deceiving in terms of how they've been playing, but you take three from them. But yesterday, things weren't going right offensively. The Mariners struck out 16 times. They were 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They left 11 on base. But you found a way to win. And that, to me, is a sign of a good team. You go out there, things aren't working, whatever's not going right, it's just not a pretty game. But you found a way to grind it out. And I thought that to me, as a fan, meant more, told me more about this team than the first two wins.
Yeah, what a weekend, or what a last couple games against the White Sox. I mean, I really went into the series thinking it's an automatic sweep. Like the way that they're playing, where they're at in the AL. I kind of was very, very pleased with the outcome yesterday to walk away with a sweep and a walk-off at that. It's just like, what a great experience to continue going down this track with 40-plus games left. So
46.
Yeah, it's just like, it's amazing to have that type of win and that moment to end the series and get a nice sweep. And in my mind, it's a series sweep you kind of should get. When you look at the White Sox or the Rockies, there's really not a ton of competition. Yeah, you mentioned they pitched pretty well and struck out a bunch of Mariners, but the Mariners are resilient. They find ways to hang in there, and what do you know? Our old Mariner yesterday makes a nice error throwing it over into right field, Mr. Rojas.
Josh Rojas.
Yeah, just
still
great.
helping.
Yeah, exactly. Still pushing the Mariners into the hopefully playoffs here soon enough.
What are you seeing from the pitching that you like right now? That it's kind of rounding into form. We've seen some great performances, and it just feels like that's starting to come together. Is there any one thing that has stood out to you?
It's a good question. As I was, coming in here today, I think the one thing I wanted to tell you guys is like the perspective on this team goes so far, and I think that it's easy to sit back and pick apart everything, but I think we've had conversations this year where it's like, are these guys, is this the team what we're looking at, or is this the team we're looking at? And it seemingly was a big spectrum from week to week to week, and couldn't really decide what this identity was. But it always comes back to this pitching, and it always goes back to how different this team is, how different this rotation is when Logan Gilbert is at the top pitching the way he's pitching. And I think he's continuing to build strides and continuing to improve. But it just goes so far when you have a guy like that at the top of your rotation. And I can't give enough credit to Brian Wu what he continues to do. It's another benefit that I think the Mariners didn't foresee going into this year. They knew he was good. They knew he could be that maybe all-star caliber player. But you're seeing a level of consistency that is just. In a legendary, word, like no one's doing what he's doing almost ever. So it just shows that this pitching, this team is built around the rotation, and it continues to kind of ride and die through that right now. And a little bit of the long ball here helping the boys on offense.
I mean, Wu, 22 starts in a row to start the season, 6 innings at least every start. I mean, it's been spectacular. What is your take on Logan? It's interesting. You look at him yesterday and you go, hey, he was good. I mean, he only gave up 2 hits, gave up 1 run. But the one thing that's been missing this year for him is just that efficiency, going deep. I mean, he led Major League Baseball in innings pitched last year, over 200 innings. He's having a hard time getting deep into games, and a lot of it, he had 3 walks. That's not going to help. He's striking out guys, so that's going to raise your pitch count. But a lot of fouling off at the plate, it seems like, more than maybe in the past, where you're seeing hitters just dialed into his repertoire more than in the past. Or what do you attribute his, I guess, lack of efficiency to?
Yeah, I can kind of pinpoint it to me on like one specific thing, and it is his splitter. His splitter is so good, but it can be, a little inconsistent at times because it's not the easiest pitch to control, right? You throw it in there, and you've kind of heard him talk about it. It's like if he tries to kind of aim it and place it, that's when it doesn't really work that well.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you're throwing it, it's not a pitch that you have the best grip on, but if you can find the release point, it allows you to, throw it consistently. But what I'm seeing is just a little inconsistency on these, call them 1-1, 2-1, 1-2 counts with splitters that having to go deeper into counts and then say, all right, now I'm being less efficient, and here comes a walk, or I have to be really precise with this fastball now, and it's a really tight count, and if I don't hit my spot, then it's gonna it result in a walk. And I think that's what you're seeing is him not able to throw the splitter as consistency as he wants, and then you couple that with where his slider's at. I think his slider continues to really impress me in terms of how he's able to navigate at bats and ultimately get guys out with it. I actually see it more of an out pitch or a strikeout pitch than the splitter in a lot of ways, because I find that he's being able to throw it and locate it in better spots throughout the zone more consistently than the splitter, albeit though the splitter is arguably one of the nastiest pitches in his repertoire. Yeah. So you got to continue to throw it, and it's like, it's Steph Curry. You think he's going to stop shooting threes if he's, it's like, come on, man, you're going to keep throwing splitters.
He's going to keep chucking.
You're going to find it. You're going to land it, and I think that's what we're hoping to see out of Logan here soon enough, where you get an outing where everything's clicking and it's just a smooth, 7 innings, 8 innings, 1-2 hits, 10 Ks, 1 walk, just efficiency across the board. And that's that would do wonders for this team to see more and more performances like that from Gilbert.
How many, as a pitcher, how many times are you changing things and tinkering with things? Do you try to not do that once the season starts? You want to have, your repertoire, or are you constantly just making little changes as a pitcher as the season goes?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, it's kind of a broad question, I guess, when it comes to changes. Maybe are there physical changes? Is there a mental approach change? Is there how I'm going to attack hitters change? One of those 3 things, you're going to have to make adjustments along the way.
Right.
And sometimes as an athlete, you put yourself in positions where you don't realize that you're in a less optimal position, and it takes, hey, I got to go watch a video real quick or have someone see this so I can then notify it and then make a change real quick. It could be a tipping of pitch. There are things that kind of evolve, and that's what happens when you play 162 games is like, there's only so much preparation that you can go into it, and then before you know it, you're in the game, and it's 1-2 in the 8th inning, and you're like, well, am I going to worry about my position or my mechanics, or am I just going to go out there and try and execute and get the job done? And if I find myself not being in a good spot and not executing the way I want, then all right, let's go make some changes. Let's look at it. And when it comes to changes, you want to do smaller changes, because doing an overhaul during the season is just so much harder to take on. And you're already a very strong athlete, so it's just a matter of finding the right ways to get you in the best spot mentally and physically that allow you to kind of unlock and get yourself out of the way and just be yourself and have fun out there.
How about that bullpen last night as well, though? Because, the life of being in a bullpen. One night you're a hero. The next time you give up a long ball, and, this guy stinks.
Trade him. Get him out of here.
So it's a tough existence.
Burbush, that guy stinks.
Or they probably said, this guy's great. Why is he not in there every time? I mean, it's just, that life. But last night you had Ferguson, Vargas, Spire, Brash, Munoz, Bazardo, and Kowar. You had 7 guys cover last night. 6 innings. They gave up 5 total hits. They gave up 1 earned run and 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. That was tremendous. It doesn't mean they won't stub their toes somewhere along the way, but, man, you got to, if you're somebody that rips them, you got to give them credit when they come out, and they covered a lot last night. That was huge.
Absolutely spectacular. And, we mentioned the rotation. It's really the whole pitching staff. That's going to be arguably the biggest reason why this team goes wherever they end up going, is that they've always been built around pitching, and you can see now having to go through arm after arm, and it's like 95, 98, 99. I mean, these guys just keep coming at you with some nasty stuff. I mean, it's just really, really fun to watch from a Mariners fan perspective, but it's super hard for all these other big league clubs to come and face this rotation in the bullpen, because these guys are some of the best pitchers when they're on.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about Dylan Moore, and just kind of, I was wondering, like, what are some of those conversations like when they, how in tune is Dan with, players and their personalities and everything? And, are you getting called in there constantly into his office and talking about where are you at, what's your headspace or whatever? Because, we were talking about Dylan Moore and how, it's been really rough for him. You said 2 hits since the beginning of
2 hits he had 1 hit in July, 1 hit in June.
Yeah, it's like
he's 0 for August.
0.34, I think, is his batting average in the last.
Not the most competitive bat late in the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Just taking a pitch there at the end where a pitch that you just got to put in play. Just put it in play. And it's an interesting guy you bring up, right? Like, is he going to go in and have daily conversations with Dan? No. Because I think that Dylan knows who he is, right? I think there is, a history of Dylan Moore here. And to just say this is what he is and what he's going through, it's certainly tough. He certainly feels it, but taking it with a grain of salt, if you will, saying, hey, you know what, this is just part of being a big leaguer, and I have to continue to show up and work hard and do the things I can do and prepare as much as I can and do all the externals, right? All the things that you need to do on the outside of the game to prepare yourself and get ready, and then do the best you can when you have an opportunity and let the chips fall where they may. So right now, I mean, you're arguably looking at a mirror image version season of Mitch Garver a year ago. So just someone that looks a little lost up there and doesn't look like they have their full confidence. And that's just tough. So as a teammate, as a manager, you're doing everything you can to try and bring this guy back to life, if you will, and really make sure that he feels good about his approach and where he's at. And sometimes at the end of the day, your performance just doesn't line up, right? I mean, and you just have to say, this is just one of those years. It's one of those situations where I got beat a lot and I got behind and I couldn't seem to pick myself up from the hole that I dug.
Yeah, it just seems that now Dan's in a tough spot, because if this is the middle of the season, early in the season, you got a lot of games to play with. We can run Dylan out there, let him work his way out of it. You got 46 games to go, and it is a nip and tuck battle. You're a game and a half behind the Astros. You're fluctuating in wild card standings every night. One night you're second, one night you're third. You're tied with this. So every game means so much, and I feel like you don't have that luxury of letting him work his way through it. So then I'm looking at what point do you put him in the game? And to me, it's a last resort. I'm letting the lefties hit lefty pitching. I'm done with the lefty-righty stuff. We saw Canzone yesterday, game winner off a lefty. He's hitting .258 against lefties. I'd just rather take my chances with the lefty bat in there and see how they do versus righties that aren't hitting anybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, thought process. I think it's great that Canzone's doing great against lefties, but let's just look at the cast of lefties that he's faced, all right? I think the lefties from the White Sox weren't the most devastating lefties of the league, you know what I mean? So I think that's where the matchup tends to play more when you're facing a Skubal, right? When you're facing a Chris Sale. So I think sometimes, having a guy like Demo is a good roster spot, but ideally you're never in a slump this poor, if you will, right? And at this point,
this long.
Yeah, and at this point in the year. So you start to evaluate and say, well, is his value to the team, to the clubhouse, honestly more valuable than what his performance is doing on the field? And because they're really, that he's been here long enough and he has these great relationships with JP, with Cal, with all the guys in the clubhouse. And sometimes at this point in the season, when the boys are on a run, pulling a guy like that out is a bad idea because he's offering more than you realize than the stat sheet shows. So the last thing you'd want is to be like, okay, based on his performance and where he's at, we've all had tough years. To pull the plug out now may leave more of an impact or a gap in that clubhouse than the stat sheet would ever show. So that's the only thing to like consider, right? I think at this point, if that's ultimately not a big concern to them and you know what he's providing from a leadership standpoint and in day-to-day stuff, then yeah, maybe you look elsewhere. You look at a guy in AAA and say, okay, I need you to come take part-time at bats and just do a better job. But you know, I think there's still a little time here that he's a game or two away, and he also runs the bases very well. So you got experience. There's all these, you know, I get where you're coming from, and believe me, that's going to be I think a question mark. Or a question they're going to have to answer sooner than later because you can only withstand, you know, poor performance so long.
I think your idea with Bryce Miller to the bullpen is starting to catch on a little bit. I heard a couple other people talking about it. You were the first one I remember saying anything about that, but you're a trendsetter, Charlie.
Thank you.
Yeah. You still think that's a better option based on his rehab outings? And
I think well, one, thank you for giving me credit, but after seeing that first performance, throwing 98, 4 innings right out the gate, usually it's a progression. They're like, you know what, let's see what you got now and build it up. So at this point, I'm kind of switching my tune, you know. I gotta say,
now that Dave gave you credit, you're going, I think he should be a starter.
Well, I just feel like...
Well, let me help you. Did you see his numbers from last night?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Does that... You're still of the mind he should be...
No, I do. I still
okay.
think his value is in the rotation, without a doubt. And when he's on, he's pretty lethal out there. So after seeing the performance, the first rehab performance, I was so encouraged to that he was going to be back way sooner than I expected. I was not expecting a 4 innings appearance right out the gate. So. And obviously that first appearance, 58 pitches, 50 strikes, just like, okay, you're feeling ready. Yeah, talk about efficiency right there. That is of the, you know, highest caliber. So I want to say he may ultimately end up in the bullpen if the team's in the playoffs, just the way things go and how things work in a smaller, tighter series, that's where his ultimate fate is this year. But I think if you can get 5-6 innings out of Bryce Miller in the next 3 to 2 weeks from now, and then ride that out for the next month, I mean, why? I don't see why you wouldn't want Bryce Miller in the rotation. It's like, yeah, I think I just thought where he was at, the bullpen made sense, and okay, if you're actually at a point where you're progressing, then this makes more sense just to protect yourself in the long run. But now seeing this, I think absolutely he definitely has rotation written all over him at this point.
How do you view last night's, like, just putting it in context? Do you look at it and just say, he's working on things, because it was kind of opposite of the, I agree with that first one. I'm like, whoa, he looks like mid-season form, and then last night he gave up 3 home runs, 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings. Not awesome. 66 pitches. I think more importantly, hopefully he comes out of it feeling good and everything felt fine. But
yeah,
how do you keep that one in perspective?
Yeah, I'd say this is exactly come out of it feeling healthy, but in a lot of ways, you know, I think the external things also are existing that didn't exist before this start, right? The first start happened, it was, it's great, Bryce is back, we don't know what we're going to see, it's going to be on, and then we saw something fantastic. So I think the expectation now, and everyone is like, okay, he's much closer than we think. And I know as a player, when you're coming off of an injury and you're starting to feel like yourself again, and then you're on that rehab assignment and you know you have a certain amount of time to complete it, that maybe you could actually complete it early and get called up, that the juices get flowing, and sometimes as a player you go, I want it. I can't wait to get back. And sometimes you got to go, you know what? Let's stay in the present here. Let's stay here, focus on the task at hand, 1 pitch at a time, and not try and get ahead of myself, and know that ultimately you will be in the big leagues. It's just a matter of time at this point. But so I'm certainly encouraged by the results. Another roughly 4 innings, 60 more, through more pitches.
66.
Yeah, so this is just all encouraging to me that Bryce Miller's going to be in the rotation again here sooner than later.
And a reminder, we're out here at Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. We've been talking Seahawks as well. Our Seahawks training camp coverage is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Meanwhile, this lineup has changed, obviously, since the trade deadline acquisitions. We'll talk about some of the changes we've seen with the additions of the new batch. Charlie Furbush here with us on set as we continue with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell.
This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live here in the Pacific Northwest in the same house for over 20 years, and that type of longevity is obviously a good thing, except 23 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break, and most recently it's been our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and it's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. Chris and Ray from Harley Exteriors came out to the house, and I could instantly tell we'd get along great. And they're the kind of people I want to do business with. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams and big listeners to the station, and better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors. They're manufactured right here in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. And that means cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter. And look up Harley Exteriors for your window replacement now. And in August, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments for 1 year, and an additional $200 off your project. So call 833-HARLEY, that's 833-HARLEY, or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Evan Cohen here. La Quinta by Wyndham is deeply grateful for all our military members, veterans, and their families. They understand the dedication, sacrifice, and hard work that comes with serving our country. As a thank you, La Quinta offers 12% off standard rates, upgraded Wyndham Rewards, Gold Status membership, and preferred parking. They want to make sure your stay is as comfortable and rewarding as possible, and they're proud to serve those who serve. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Visit LQ.com to learn more about these special military perks and discounts. Restrictions apply.
Recovery doesn't have to be boring. This event proves it. Have fun with sobriety at the 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at Seward Park Amphitheater, Saturday, August 9th. From noon till 10, there's going to be non-stop fun and events. They'll be giving away a free electric car at the end of the night. Receive 25 tickets towards the free car drawing just by showing up, and win more tickets throughout the day by engaging in fun activities. The fun starts at noon with free picnic and carnival-style food. Be a kid again and join drop-in kickball, softball, dodgeball, and volleyball games. Recovery Fun Fest kicks off at noon with open 12-step meetings at 1 and 4 p.m. with national speakers at 8 p.m. Lip sync battle at 9 and car giveaway at 10, where you must be present to win. Children under 18 can give their tickets to a parent or guardian or a friend over 18. The 5th Annual Recovery Fun Fest at the Seward Park Amphitheater, August 9th. Brought to you by Freedom Hall in Greenwood. This event is fun and free. RecoveryFunFest.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You gotta love football season, but when it comes to your windows and doors, you don't want any fumbles. Steve Rabel here, reminding you to trust locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their selection of windows and doors can't be beat, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James D. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC-238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC-138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA-270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We got our guy Charlie Furbush on set with us. We got a packed house already. Look at this.
Let's go.
Look at all the people out on the street still waiting to get in.
The Mariner mayhem is real.
Yeah, this is big. They're starting to feel it. We're down to 46 games. You're a game and a half behind the Houston Astros. You're winning right now. It is Ichiro weekend, which is a big deal. I think tonight is the jersey giveaway. A lot of Ichiro jerseys around here. And then I think, what is it? Sunday's the plaque, the Hall of Fame plaque replica giveaway.
Yeah, and actually it's pretty cool. I was down in the clubhouse earlier. They have his actual plaque down there in the clubhouse.
I think they're going to put it up somewhere in the stands where people can go see it. Is there a giveaway tomorrow or no?
I don't think so. The giveaway is getting to see Ichiro.
Yeah, tomorrow's the ceremony, the retirement of his number.
I also have a 51 mowed in my lawn in the back.
His is for Randy Johnson, though.
Come on.
Lofa Tatupu.
Was he 51?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's awesome what they do. You can see it from the booth, obviously, much
Super
better.
cool.
But, yeah, they put the big 51 in center field. Very
Of course,
cool.
Dave's most excited about the gardening that's
the
going on
landscaping.
here. The landscaping. That's got him all equipped.
That's what I'm going to do when I retire. I'm just going to become a landscaper.
By the way,
Love it.
how do you come in as the opposing fan and you wear an Oklahoma City Thunder jersey on top of it? I mean, it's already bad enough you're the enemy coming in here. We're trying to beat you, but then you're just going to throw salt in the wounds by wearing a Oklahoma City Thunder jersey.
Look at that. He's wearing baseball pants, a basketball jersey, and he's throwing a football.
Yeah.
He's confused.
I don't think I like him.
Yeah.
I don't think I like him.
I don't think I like him.
Yeah. I love it. I don't appreciate any part of that. Hey, as far as this team since the trade deadline, I was saying at the beginning of the show, just being in that clubhouse, it's a different vibe. Right? There's a lightness to it. There's an excitement. But I think there's a feeling like, yeah, we expect to win. And not that you don't feel confident throughout the season, but there's just, I think with those two bats, with Naylor, and hopefully he's going to be okay. I retweeted Ryan Divish earlier. He talked to Naylor, and Naylor made it sound like, nah, I'm going to be fine. He's not in the lineup tonight, but he had an immediate impact in the field and at the plate. Gino hasn't really found it yet. He's got 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run, still waiting for him. But just his presence, just that whole good vibes only, and he's just such a presence. How much do you see a difference? Do you feel a difference around this team since the trade deadline?
Absolutely. I mean, that first game when Gino was here, like the crowd's getting a standing O. I think that's what you're feeling. You're feeling like the the history of what he did when he was here and how well liked he was, and then really the chatter from all of us here at the station saying we need to get Gino back. We need to get Gino back. And I think in a lot of ways, after Naylor, it kind of maybe felt like a distant reality that they were going to be able to swing another deal with Arizona. But I know I'm sure you've heard Hollander mention just okay, yeah, we went back to the drawing board and we're trying to get something done, and we were going to see every avenue possible. And sure enough, they did such a great job at acquiring not only Naylor but Gino, all while keeping that top 10 prospect list intact. So,
and I think they thought they had Duran too.
I know, and I think, yeah, there's probably one or two guys that they were requested from the Twins that they were just yeah, that's not worth it right now. We think that this player will ultimately be better in the long run. But it certainly feels different every game, every scenario. And you mentioned them wanting to win, expecting to win. I think that's the mentality of any professional athlete at the end of the day is this is you came to win. This is what it's about. It's about winning, and winning as much as you can, as often as you can. And all at the same time, taking it one game at a time. I think that's really, really tough. But where they're at, it just feels different. It feels exciting. It feels more than ever like the Mariners have a really good chance this year based on where the AL's at, based on where Houston's at. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have another banner up in right field where the Mariners won an
It
AL
would
West
be very
title?
nice.
But wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
Just to punch your ticket in automatically, and the place goes crazy here when we clinch and win the AL West.
Yeah, those are lonely.
Card.
They need,
it's just exactly.
They need company up there.
But it just goes to show you where this team's at, and ultimately how dangerous it can be from the pitching and from when the offense is clicking. They're lately, obviously, the White Sox aren't the best team to maybe judge yourself off of, but they've been scoring runs, and it's been super helpful from a pitching side of things to make sure that you have some run support that allows you to go out there and get your job done. It's really tough when you're going up and it's 0-0 in the 5th, 6th inning every time. You just feel like I can't make a mistake. So now they have a situation where they're going to score some runs, and it's just going to be that much more exciting, and I think a lot of ways easier to pitch overall.
Naylor is fascinating to me just because, we wanted his bat, of course, but you look at some of the plays that he's made at first base, and then the base stealing.
Yeah,
and then
insane.
the other thing is he's a pretty serious dude. He's very thoughtful from what we understand, and just kind of a really unique person, Is there a comp from when you played, a guy that was kind of like that? Because I feel like we're just getting to know Josh Naylor, and you're finding out more things. You watch him every night, and little things like where he didn't want to carry the trident into the dugout, and just I don't know.
He doesn't want to chat up the guy on first base.
Yeah, you saw him give a one. I think it was who was it? Kurtz, I think, was trying to talk to him.
Yeah,
and you could tell he just goes no. It was like a one word answer, but. Anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to get kind of a feel for this guy. It's interesting.
No, he brings a certain energy that is honestly feels like one of the more highly focused players each day. That's how kind of serious, intense I see. It's he's just so intensely focused, trying to get the job done in any way, shape, or form at the plate, and then obviously playing some great defense, but. I mean, this historic run of stolen bases is kind of insane, right? I mean, putting yourself in a category with what only Ichiro's ever done it before, or something nuts like that.
He's 8 for 8 here.
Yeah,
he only had 11 stolen bases when he got here.
Insane.
In 93 games, he had 11 with the Diamondbacks, and now he's got 8 already with the Mariners.
Yeah. So, but the intensity, I think that's where it lends itself to be a little more contagious than you realize, because when guys show up and they really, really take it seriously and care about their craft and care about getting better, care about being a good teammate, it just goes so far to, really just make everyone feel more comfortable and also feel like we are in it to win it, and this is a team game, and we all have to do our part to get it done, because it's not just through one player, it's through us all, and we're all going to have a a chance at some point throughout the year to shine and help the team win. So we got to do everything in our power from a day-to-day standpoint to prepare ourselves and allow ourselves to do it.
If you're Dan, and this is looking ahead a little bit, we've been watching Victor Robles out here taking batting practice. He's supposed to start his rehab assignment, I think, the 12th, which is what, today's the 8th. So 4 days from now, he's supposed to start his rehab assignment. Whenever he's ready to come back, Dan's got an interesting and good problem, because you got Canzone, who's been producing. He's been playing well since he got called back up. And then you got Robles, who's an energy guy. He's a leadoff guy. I think he's a better defender than Canzone, but Canzone has been productive, like I said. So how do you see that playing out? You see it as a platoon, lefty-righty thing out there? Or do you see maybe he gets more turns as a DH, talking about Canzone, and maybe you put the better defender in right field? How do you balance that? Because you don't want to disrupt what Dom's been doing.
Yeah, and his value right now is with the bat. So, yeah, I think the idea that he goes to get DH at bats or right into the DH and Cal goes back to catching full time, and if anything, Garver's going to be the guy that gets bumped and not having any at bats. Not that he's getting a ton of
or
bats.
Polanco
anyways.
would have to maintain second base because he's your DH.
Yeah, and I think that's okay too. I think just where they're at and making sure that they're putting out the best lineup, and when guys are playing well and they're hot, it doesn't do your team any good to take them and give them a couple days off. You know, it's like, no, you're feeling it, you're riding it. It's like, until we see any sort of, regression, then we'll make a change. But he obviously has done such a good job since he's gotten called back up and came up with some big hits. So you don't really want to take that away. But also with Robles coming back, he offers such a fiery presence to your team and your lineup. And you saw what he did last year, and you saw even what he did this year before he got hurt. You would imagine that would be instantaneously back. So it'd be hard to not put that in your lineup every day and get that production and performance. So you're going to, sacrifice one thing and gain another, and you kind of have to figure out how you value these things and which one is going to be more valuable in terms of playing time. So, I think
good problem to have.
Yeah, it's ultimately a good problem to have. And, once the rosters expand, you'll have a few extra spots to play with. So,
yeah. All right, we continue from Edgar's Cantina. Charlie Furbush on set with us. Coming up, what does the playoff race look like for this Mariner team? We'll break it all down. Coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from Edgar's Cantina. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
With preseason game 1 in the books.
Here's Milroe rolling out to the right side and throws a dart.
The work continues going into the final week of training camp. Whose stock is on the rise?
Jalen played well.
Who's on the bubble?
Oots can run for a 270-pounder.
Nobody has the Seahawks covered like Seattle Sports.
You felt the line of scrimmage. You felt the physicality.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
On 710, the Seattle Sports app and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 for Kids.
1-877 for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob with our guy Charlie Furbush joining us live on set. The Cantina is packed. The streets are packed outside of the stadium.
All to see Charlie Furbush.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
They're waiting in line for.
These gates are going to get broken down if they can't get a piece of Charlie before this segment's up. I tell you what.
The guy that played with Ichiro just for a year.
That's right. Hey, look, your image is up on the wall in there.
Hey, you know.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
That is awesome.
That is pretty cool.
I'm sorry, Bob. Did you ever get into a long conversation with him, or was he back then? Did he not communicate a lot, or?
So, I was certainly excited once I got traded over from Detroit to play and introduce myself to a guy like Ichiro, and I think a lot of it was just like in awe of what he did and how hard he worked and the things, how he went about his business on a day-to-day basis. And then you fast forward to 2012, and we go to Japan for the first year. And I think that, they went back in 2018, 19, he retired. That was like a really, really cool deal. But when we went over for the first time in 2012, it felt like I didn't realize how insanely big Ichiro was.
Yeah.
And when we got there, I was like, oh, this is the biggest thing in the country. Like, there's nothing bigger. There's no bigger person right now.
Wow.
And it felt like he was Taylor Swift or the Beatles or something so popular where it was swarms of people everywhere, and just his face is on every billboard. It's like you couldn't go escape anywhere in Tokyo without seeing Ichiro's face, and just the swarm of people. And what a great experience and a great teammate. But I will tell this one Ichiro story that I think is just classic and amazing. And for the people that did get to see him hit batting practice, he used to hit a handful of home runs. And I think the first or second day when I got traded over, he hit like 12 or 13 home runs. And I was like, who is this guy? This guy hits homers? And then over the course of the next, that year in 11, and then in 12 when we got back from Japan, at one point he had one day where he hit, I don't know, it felt like 20 homers, but it was a lot of home runs to right field. And then he came out to do some outfield work, and we were out in right field tracking fly balls during batting practice, and me and the bartender Tom Wilhelmsen were just like, we should go ask him if he would ever do the home run derby.
Yeah.
Right? It seemingly felt like hitting home runs was the easiest thing he could do. This is easy. He wasn't swinging hard. He was swinging everything. It was just so fun to watch. So we finally went up to him and we're like, hey, Ichi, why don't you do the home run derby this year? And he looks at us, and then we were just like so excited to see what he was going to say. And he's like, well, the real reason is I don't want to disrespect the power hitters. We're just like, wait a minute, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I know I can hit a lot of home runs and probably win the thing, but that's not what I do on the field. So I don't want to
embarrass the big boys.
Embarrass the big boys that are get paid to hit homers. So I was like, this is like the greatest answer in the world. Being like, I know I can win it, but I'm choosing not to.
He's sparing their feelings.
Oh my God,
that's great.
Well, I mean. Yeah, he's such a pure hitter, and he has the power to hit home runs, so it stands to reason that he probably would have.
Yeah, his approach was completely different in batting practice. He used to back foot everything and just hit everything to down the right field, into right field, and then he obviously have a completely different approach if you were going to face him. He's halfway out of the box by the time he hit the ball, so it's like. Yeah.
Did you face him when you were with the Tigers?
No, I didn't face him when I was with the Tigers, but I think I faced him when he was with the Yankees.
Okay.
When he got traded while we were playing the Yankees.
Who was the toughest bat that you ever faced in your career?
That's a pretty good question. You could argue some guys that I've faced that are, batting over 500 against me, but in a lot of ways I just have to give it to Shane Victorino, the flying Hawaiian. He is 2 for 2 with 2 home runs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Was he with the Phillies at the time?
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Okay.
Yeah. Hit one over the Monster in Boston. I think I gave one up, actually above Edgar's here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
What did you do against Ichiro when he was on the Yankees? Because that was the back part of his career. So
I believe I got Ichiro to ground out.
Did you?
But this is where I'm going down the memory lane. I'm like, wait a minute, did I actually face Ichiro?
I think you should tell people you struck him out on 3 pitches.
Well, I can see that. Yeah. That's why I'm in the Hall of Fame. Right? Yeah. I struck everyone out on 3 pitches. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, looking at the standings, we talked about this. That especially in the wild card portion, it shifts every night, right? Mariners are second, then the third spot, the second spot, they're tied. The blah blah blah. Right now they're in the second.
Yeah.
But obviously you want to win the division. That's the goal. You're a game and a half behind the Astros right now. 46 games to go. What's your level of confidence that they get this division?
Pretty good, honestly. Like you're half game back, you win tonight, and they lose.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, then I'm feeling ecstatic, right? Like this is exactly where the Mariners want to be right now. They want to be in this AL West hunt and put the pressure on and ultimately get away from the wild card, because that's going to be kind of a gnarly fight at the end. It's going to come down to the last game or two of the season where somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and everyone's kind of fighting. Someone gets hot in September, and you just don't want to be in that position where you're on the back half of the, losing wild card, you don't get in. So this is like a crucial. That's why I was so happy that they swept the White Sox, rightfully so. But just another, crucial series here against the Rays to continue to build some momentum and ultimately make a charge here for the West.
What kind of golfer are you? I see the Cherbush Cup, which was around your wedding date.
Yeah,
right?
I'm the golfer you want to play with, Wyman.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're going to make people feel good about their game?
Yeah, always. It's a hobby, right? You're supposed to go have a good time. I never understood why guys go out and get mad. And like, well, guess what? You're an amateur, dude. You don't practice. Come on, man.
Right.
You think you expect to throw darts out there and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to act like I'm a pro. Like, no, you're not even close. So why don't you just sit back, cheers your friends, and have a good time.
And have fun. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why all of my golf clubs are from the prior century.
Yes.
I haven't updated any of my clubs.
But from a handicap perspective, I am an 8. So just so you know.
Oh, so you're very good.
Well, very good is subjective.
You're shooting in the 70s.
No, that's
right?
very
time,
good.
Correct. Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
If I could shoot 70 on the front 9, that'd be great.
Wow. Okay. Well, we should play it. Let's go. Let's get around in.
Just give me a dozen balls. I'll throw them in the woods to get started. And just cut to the chase, and I'll be in there. You go ahead and play through.
There's lots of pressure on you, though, because pitchers, particularly baseball players, everybody, they're always good at golf, right? So maybe that's unfair.
So the pressure is on me to be good at golf because I played baseball?
Yes.
Ah, okay. I mean,
that's the expectation.
Yeah. I mean, you could say that's the truth. I played growing up, but one of the true motivators of my golf game life is that my older brother John has 3 hole-in-ones and I have 0.
Wow.
So I have this lifelong competition to finally call him one day and say, ha, I'm a third of the way there, buddy.
Is he lucky or is he really good?
He's really good. Honestly, my older brother is like the greatest athlete that I can think of. He just is good at everything. And he doesn't practice, and he'll show up and hit a 300-yard drive, and it's just like...
He played baseball?
Yeah, he played a bunch of sports. He's now the head basketball coach at Bates College back in Lewiston, Maine.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. So he's not so impressed with your pro baseball career. He's like, I dominate golf, I dominate basketball.
Yeah, still plays pickup.
You got your little baseball thing going, Charlie.
Yeah, he's like, okay,
that's cute. You threw the ball. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I will beat you in everything, including video games. Right?
Oh.
This is the guy's...
Wow.
Most importantly.
He's older?
Yeah, he's older. He did teach me a lot of athletic lessons growing up, how to act, how to deal with failure, and, that stuff goes a long way when you're a kid.
Yeah. Well, you're winning now, man. You don't have to worry about that.
Charlie,
it's all coming up for a bush.
Let's play golf. I want to play golf.
That'd be fun.
Charlie,
actually, I want to see a Mariners win.
Yes.
Let's go.
That's the priority.
This place is going to be packed tonight. I can't wait to see it.
I think it's going to be packed all weekend. Yeah.
Let's
it's going to be a good weekend to be out here at
Mariner
T-Mobile
Mayhem
Park.
is real.
We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Charlie.
being here.
There he is, Charlie Furbush, with us each and every week talking baseball. We're going to come back. Got a lot that we still have to break down from the Seahawks preseason opener, and we've also got mean texts coming up, so you've got a little bit of time to get those in at 866-979-3776. We'll get to all of that coming up with Wyman and Bob, live from Edgar's Cantina at T-Mobile Park. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Tom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell.
This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
It's perfect weather out for baseball. It's perfect weather out for getting on that motorcycle. And I know we have a lot of you out there listening are riders. I've heard from you on the text line, and some of you have told me about injuries you sustained and crashes and whatnot. Hopefully everybody's okay out there. But if you're somebody that finds yourself in a motorcycle crash and you're injured, and you're looking for a law firm, don't settle for the firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. You got to trust the ones who actually live it, and that's Law Tigers. They've been a part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century nationwide, and they are available 24/7, 365 days a year, because writers deserve real support when you need it most. And Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they're in need. Now, you see them everywhere. You see the tents, you see the vans, you see the billboards, certainly. And they're out there at all of the events, supporting all of the clubs, all of the shops. The Law Tigers are always there by your side. And even better, your case evaluation is completely free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. They're going to help you get your gear and your bike repaired or replaced because they know how crucial those things are to you. You never ride alone with the Law Tigers. They are Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit blowingclassic.com for more.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James G. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC 238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC 138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA 270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners getting back to it tonight. Game 1 of their series with the Tampa Bay Rays. They're going to send Luis Castillo to the hill to look to keep that winning streak going. Game 1 of 3 coming up at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch. You catch it all right here. Seattle Sports on 710. Taking a look at what's going on right now. Bottom of the 5th in Pittsburgh. The Reds and the Pirates are knotted up at 1 apiece. Headed to the bottom of the 3rd in New York right now. The Yankees are not helping out the Mariners. They are losing 2-0 to the Astros. Again, headed to the bottom of the 3rd in New York. Top of the 4th in Baltimore. The Orioles with a 3-0 lead over the A's right now. Top of the 4th in Detroit. Tigers up 3-1 on the Angels. Marlins shutting out the Braves right now 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Guardians putting it on the White Sox in the bottom of the 1st, up 5-0 in that game. Still to get going here, Rangers and Phillies in Texas. You got the Twins playing host to the Royals. Mets on the road taking on the Brewers. Cubs and Cardinals in St. Louis. Red Sox on the road in San Diego to face the Padres. Diamondbacks and Rockies in Arizona. You got the Dodgers hosting the Blue Jays, and the Giants and Nationals in San Francisco.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Continue live at Edgar's Cantina here at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, and Charlie Furbush is still hanging with us. He's wanted to hang out and see if people said mean things about him and mean texts. So, are you ready for that?
I can't think of a better way to end the week.
Than people just anonymously saying really mean, hurtful things about you?
Yes, I want to hear it.
Would you be more hurt if they didn't say anything about you?
I think, no. Okay. Maybe. You know, you bring up a good point.
Well, let's see what they come up with. You still got about 10 minutes to go to get creative. Take shots at us, take shots at Charlie, whatever you got. 866-979-3776 is the text line. A reminder, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. And as we said, the Mariners are hosting the Rays tonight, and the T-Mobile Park roof will be open. It's a beautiful night for baseball out here. That's the Mariners Roof Report, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We had preseason game number 1 last night. Seahawks tying with the Las Vegas
I'd
Raiders.
forgotten that was a thing in the preseason.
You didn't want to see overtime
in
preseason football. Nobody wins.
You know what? My second year in the league, we had an overtime preseason game, and one of our better special team players and linebackers, Sam Merriman, got his knee blown out in overtime. And it's like, oh my God, it's so stupid. You know, I mean, we did lots of things that were stupid back then. Like
no water when it's 100 degrees out in 3 days.
That would supposedly toughen you up.
No, just
really
dehydrate you.
It just made you dehydrated. That's
Cramp you up.
Right. So we had one guy, I don't know if I can say this on the air, maybe, but yeah, we called him the human orgasm because he would have like full body cramps.
Don't say that on the air.
And he would just like have to lay on the ground and just like, and it was probably because he couldn't have water.
Is that how it goes for you?
What?
Never mind. I'll just move on from that.
That was good, Bob. Well done. Well played.
Meanwhile, by the way, I didn't see did anybody get hurt last night for the Seahawks? Was there an injury?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, because I was thinking of the mock game. There was a kid that got hurt, but other than that,
I think they came out unscathed, right? Yeah. I think at one point the reporters up in the press box were talking about Moyer looked like he was like shaking his arm or something was going on. He looked like he could have been dinged up, but he came back and played the rest of his time out there, so I guess he's fine. But yeah, hadn't even thought about that. But we spent a lot of time talking about the expectation that this defense may carry the load initially to start the season if it takes some time for all the newness on the offense to gel. What'd you like from the defense? Anything stand out in particular?
Run the ball, control the clock. I mean, that's what it does. You humiliate your opponent. You control the clock. You get, and that's the thing. I mean, you can't really run that kind of offense with a bad defense just because, if you get down 21-0, it's the third quarter. You kind of have to ditch the run game. I mean, now all of a sudden it's pass and hurry up down the field. So, I mean, this is, when Mike always talks about situational football, that's one of them. Having a good defense that keeps you in a game so that you can run your offense. So the other thing is, I thought in the game yesterday, a lot of times, so the Seahawks have joint practices. They had one last year with Tennessee, and then this year we got one coming up with Green Bay. And those are better than a preseason game, because once a game starts, it just goes the way it goes. I mean, there are different situations, and you don't get a chance to work on everything. Whereas, if you have the joint practices, you can say, hey, we want to do 9-on-7, run drills, or 7-on-7, or let's do this, let's do, special teams and all that. But I thought it was one of those games where they got pretty much an opportunity to do everything. There were some last-minute drives defensively, and so that's the thing I think you hope when you come out of a preseason game. Number one, no injuries, which they check that box, but then also just a lot of coachable moments. A lot of, things like, hey, this is how we want to do this. I'm glad this came up, because there's lots of times, I remember especially when I was coaching in high school, we'd get into a situation and I was like, damn it, I probably should have worked on that.
We didn't practice that.
We didn't practice that.
We're not ready for this moment.
Yeah, because there's so many different situations, in football that are unique. So I thought that was one of the things that they accomplished in that game.
Did they have Wyman Moyer playing nickel?
He was playing.
I was a little surprised by that.
Saw him come off the edge a little bit.
Is he going to be just that multifaceted guy? He's going to be nickel. He'll be safety. He'll be what do you think his role ultimately is?
Yeah, I mean, I think he can kind of like Kobe Bryant, and same thing with Spoon, because like Spoon doesn't really play exclusively out at corner. He's usually in the box, which is great. And Moyer, I heard him talking about it again, because I say the same thing. I don't want Spoon outside. He's got to be inside. He makes too many plays. He's a great blitzer. He's physical, even though he's not a big guy. And then even Warrior's the same way, man. I mean, this guy,
he's bigger, though.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, compared to Spoon, especially. Yeah. But, the thing I was saying about him, I do think it's a fair comp, Cam Chancellor. I really do, and I think actually his ball skills are better than Cam's. Cam got better as the years went on, but yeah, he looks dynamite. I love seeing the rookies. Everybody looked really good. Obviously Torrey Horton had probably the best game, but liked what I saw out of the other guys.
What'd you think of Arroyo? He had 2 targets, 2 catches.
Yeah, it was great. He beat, I think it was a corner, could have been a safety on a route. Yeah. Just an out route, and nice throw from Drew. But
more importantly, what about his blocking?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares if he can block or not. I mean, he's such a playmaker, and that guy ran like a 4.5. He's 6'5", 255 pounds, and he ran like a 4.5 40.
Is he going to be our latest version of Jimmy Graham, a tight end who's not really a blocking tight end? He's just a giant receiver.
Yeah, I think he'll eventually learn how to block, but like right now they don't really care. But yeah, I mean, and look, Jimmy Graham, the only crime really of his game was how they used him.
Yeah,
they used him as a blocker. It's stupid. So I mean, if Arroyo just can't get it down, but a lot of it's try hard. All the time, I always say, like, blocking is just getting in someone's way.
Yeah.
And that's not that hard to do. I don't know if you saw, there was a rush last night where Sundell, who's kind of an undersized guy at center, I'm rooting for him at center. I'd like to see him there because he's really smart. But, he gets kind of bull rushed, and, instead of like trying to, hunker down and try to get his weight down or whatever, he just ran the guy by. And knows, okay, Drew's going to step up in the pocket, and he took him all like 10 yards downfield. Like, let him go. I mean, that you did your job. Even though the guy, is pushing you backwards, you're in his way. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why and I'm not saying it's going to be easy for Arroyo to pick it up, but like a lot of it is just want to.
Yeah.
So,
what was your take on Milroe? I was excited to see, just because we're watching bits and pieces at practice. I think we all know he's not going to be a huge, or it doesn't seem like it. Maybe he will turn into a huge presence, but I don't know how much of an opportunity he's truly going to get in the regular season. So it was kind of cool to see him out there, and you see why people are excited about his potential. I don't know what he's going to be. I'm not here saying he's going to be a superstar, but The dude is an athlete, and the dude has some electricity to him out there.
He really does, man. Just like his ball handling skills and everything, but the read option play, and that was something like Moyer was talking about. We just did not. You can't run play action pass if you don't sell it.
If you can't run the ball.
Sell it. Yeah, well, you can't run the ball. A lot of people say, well, you can still run play action if you can't run the ball, and I'm like, I disagree. you got to be able to run the ball, but you also need to carry it out. And that's what you see this offense doing. Like, they're really driven to make it look like a run, and there's an art to that. You have to really concentrate and really like almost believe in your head that we are going to run the ball. And I think in those situations, Milroe just looked amazing. But that read option thing I keep talking about, where, he leaves it in the guy's gut, and he's either going to hand it off or pull it. And he just did it an extra tick. Like, he just sold it, just one extra tick, and that ended up sucking the linebacker down, and he just zipped around the.
Because you kind of lose the ball as a linebacker. You're kind of losing the ball at the mesh point, right? It becomes a hard thing to see, like, who's got the ball there in that moment.
And he's one of those guys that is, like, I feel like no matter what, I would pick the wrong one with him. he just has kind of a magic about him that, and I don't want to get too far over my skis because, it's I don't know how much we're going to see him this year, just like you said.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I haven't seen him throw a whole lot, and that's going to be important for him to develop that. But I don't know. He just looked, and from what I hear, his like charisma and how he is in the locker room he's just a gem.
Yeah. Yeah, you root for him just because he's got so many of those intangibles that if they're refined, you start picturing, well, he could be this. He could turn into this.
Right.
We'll see. Yeah, it's preseason, stripped down. Before we get to mean text, and again, 866-979-3776 for your mean text. Do you think we're going to see, and should we see, Sam Darnold in the preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably the last game, because they're going to do the joint practices, so they'll get an opportunity for him to get reps there in Green Bay because we're going there a few days early. I think it's only one joint practice, but I would think so. I would want to play. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's got to get some full speed reps.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, but you never know. I mean, some of these coaches like McVay, I mean, he just doesn't play any of his starters ever. Never. So
I wonder if he'd have that feeling if he had a brand new quarterback, new receivers, new O-line coach, new coordinator. I wonder if he'd still have that same
new quarterback coach.
Yeah, philosophy. Like, oh no, we're fine. We don't need the.
Yeah.
Maybe that puts a different priority on. All right, we need a couple reps out here. We got
That'll be interesting to see if they do that. Kind of still figuring out Mike McDonald. Like, he said the other day how they were going to do their warm-ups. I didn't even talk about that. He was talking about how you go out on the field, you warm up, and you kind of peak, and then all of a sudden, it's like walk-through stuff, and then you go into the locker room, and he's like, and then your adrenaline sort of drops.
Yeah, the speedometer's going down.
Yeah, and so, they're trying to kind of build it up, and, kind of the crescendo is right before you go back in the locker room. And they had like the shortest, I think it was like 10-minute warm-up session. So, I mean, McDonald thinks about everything.
Yeah.
Like, everything is important to him. Last little detail. And the other thing is, he's like, afterwards, I don't want to talk to the other coaches. I don't want to talk to them before.
Was there a midfield handshake? They didn't show it on TV.
I don't know if there was or not.
And I saw players coming up hugging each other, but I didn't see Pete and McDonald.
He might not have. I don't know. But I just think he's got kind of a cranky old school side to him that I really love.
For a young guy.
Like I said, I long for the days when we all hated each other. And that's how it should be.
Keep hate alive, Charlie.
Let's go.
That's what we're going to do in our next segment here. We're going to unveil the mean text.
Is Charlie involved?
He is. He's a target.
Oh my gosh.
If people want to take
Great, that's what it is.
425 says, Wyman and Bob's show is like the Seattle weather. Mostly just a lot of gray, the occasional bright spot of someone else.
If you missed any part of today's show, you can head to the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It's right there waiting for you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you on Monday with Wyman and Bob.
Coming off a sweep of the White Sox.
A walk-off base hit for Dom Canzone.
And winners of 6 of their last 7 games. The Mariners can smell first place.
Ooh, that smell.
This was a phenomenal homestand.
Yeah, I think that's confidence building.
The push to the playoffs continues tonight at T-Mobile Park. Mariners, Rays. First pitch at 6:40 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hey friends, Stacy here. Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn is celebrating its 103rd year anniversary, and their biggest sales event of the year is going on right now. Take advantage of their great pricing on new Fords, Isuzus, and commercial vehicles. Check them out for yourself at wayscarford.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Cars for Kids. No more stressing over your old vehicle. Donate it today and get it picked up tomorrow. It's the easiest service out there. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, and not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases. Notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Contractors and heavy equipment operators, get ready. The James D. Murphy Auction Company presents one of the biggest heavy equipment auctions of the summer. On the auction block, we've got 13 excavators, including a 2018 Komatsu PC-238 USLC-11, a 2015 Komatsu PC-138, and a CAT 308 mini excavator. Also up for auction, a 2020 Komatsu WA-270-8 wheel loader, a 2017 John Deere 317G skid steer, 2 backhoes, and 3 rollers. Looking for trucks? Choose from over 100 options, including a 2017 Kenworth T880 with a wet kit and 4 Vector trucks. And if you're in need of contractor's equipment, we've got a massive assortment for you to choose from. Bidding is underway now and starts closing at 10 a.m. August 14th. And don't miss your chance to preview all items August 12th through the 13th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our Marysville location. For more information, visit murphyauction.com. That's murphyauction.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. The Seattle Mariners pregame show is on.
Back she goes, going and going. Goodbye, baseball. He did it. Julio Rodriguez.
Mariners pregame is brought to you by the Chevy Colorado, Beacon Plumbing, and Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Seattle Mariners pregame. The countdown to first pitch is underway.
Terrence Long is lead over at first. Here comes a 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and a ground ball punched into right field for a base hit. So heading to third base is Long. The throw to third base, and they've got him nailed at third base on a tremendous throw by Ichiro. I'm here to tell you that Ichiro threw something out of Star Wars down there at third base. He fired a shot about 3 feet off the ground all the way on the fly to David Bell, and Terrence Long was DOA. What a throw!
He had his weekend in Cooperstown, and this weekend we get to honor him here in Seattle. Good evening, and welcome to Ichiro Hall of Fame weekend. This weekend's just going to be jumping. The ballpark is filling up quickly. There were folks in line when I got here at 2 o'clock today. Everywhere you look, number 51s, especially down on the field, and that will soon be retired. Yes, we're going to take care of that this weekend. Just a terrific weekend plan to honor Ichiro and everything that he has done in a Mariners uniform and in a baseball uniform for that matter. We've got a bunch of Mariners Hall of Famers that have been cited as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also have a ball game to get to, and that's been a lot of fun of late as well. Good stuff on tap, and we're here to get you ready for it. So welcome to the pregame show. Shannon Dreyer coming to you live from the Western Washington Toyota broadcast booth, where we're counting you down to the 6:40 first pitch as the Mariners get their first look at the Tampa Rays this year. Luis Castillo and Spokane's own Drew Rasmussen, the pitching matchup. Now, the Mariners come into the game with a record of 63-53. That is a season-high 10 games over 500. They are 6-1 on the current homestand, a game and a half behind the Astros for the division lead. Not even going to talk about the wild card right now. You know what? I'm over the wild card. We're just going to talk about the division for a while. On the other side, the Rays 57-59. They're on a 12-game, 14-day road trip as they're looking to avoid the heat in Tampa as they're playing outside this year. Of course, you saw what happened to the Trop in the offseason with the roof. The roof is being reconstructed as we speak, but they are playing at Steinbrenner Field this year, and to accommodate the temperatures and do what's best for them, they've been on the road quite a bit in the hotter months. So that is why they have such a long road trip. We'll see them in Tampa in September, but we got 3 that begin tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have got for the lineup for the Mariners. At the top, former Ray, who is down on the field talking to current Rays right now. Randy Arozarena in left field. He will be followed by Cal Raleigh behind the plate. Julio Rodriguez in center field. Your designated hitter and cleanup hitter tonight is going to be Jorge Polanco. Gino Suarez at third base, Dom Canzone in right field, Donovan Solano at first base, J.P. Crawford at short, and rounding out the 9 at second base is Cole Young. Where is Josh Naylor? What is up with him, you ask? Well, I think we've got some good news there. Let's go ahead and get to the health report brought to you by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Now, Josh Naylor came out of the game last night. A lot of concern. He is dealing with a sore left shoulder. He had the heat and the treatment on it all afternoon in the clubhouse, in the training room, getting the work done on it. It looks like everything's going to be okay with it. Not in the lineup tonight, but he might be available for pinch hitting duties. A couple of more updates for you. Also very, very good. Spoke with Bryce Miller at his locker earlier today, and he said that he checked out of his rehab outing last night just fine. He said that his elbow is really feeling good right now, and he will most likely get 1 more rehab start. So everything good. His velocity was way up. It was almost 2 miles an hour above for average velocity, anything that he has had sustained this season as he was dealing with the discomfort in the elbow. That's not a factor anymore. He's feeling really good about where he's at, which is fantastic news. Luke Raley has been sent out on his rehab assignment with the Rainiers. That will start tonight. He shouldn't need too much time. And then Victor Robles walked into the clubhouse, and his uniform was covered from head to toe with dirt, which obviously showed that he had been sliding, and he had also been diving on the base paths. Those are the 2 things he said he had left to cross off the list before he felt that he would be ready to go out and start getting those at-bats that he is going to need. He confirmed, yes, he has been sliding, he has been diving, everything is going well. The date that they believe he will be sent out will be August 12th, so it looks like they're going to keep him around until the Mariners hit the road on Monday, if that's an off day on the minors, and then perhaps we see him in games on Tuesday, keeping a close eye on that. So lots of good news on the injury front. This health report is powered by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, the sports medicine provider of the Seattle Mariners. We've got a terrific show planned for you. Coming up on the Mariners Clubhouse Insider in about 15 minutes, we are going to visit with Josh Rawitz, the president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. I'm hoping to get some stories of some of the things we didn't see in Cooperstown. I'm sure there are a few of the behind the scenes, as well as learn about some of the celebrations and something very special that is in this ballpark right now. We're going to have all the usuals as well. We'll have the round table. We'll do some scoreboard watching and much, much more. But coming up next, Gary sits down with the skipper. He's going to get a little bit more on Josh Naylor. We're just getting started here. Stick around. You're listening to us on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Whether home or away, Mariners fans can win every day. Because when you fuel up with our proud fuel partner, Arco, you're getting quality top-tier gas for less. So be a team player to your wallet and pay less like a pro. Now that's one for the highlight reel. It's time to enjoy your winning streak at the park and the pump. Take the win with quality top-tier gas for less at Arco. Savings based on independent retail price survey.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations, so you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Northwest GMC dealer.
The team upgraded at the trade deadline. You deserve an upgrade too. Yakima Legends Casino Hotel invites you to road trip across the mountains for a luxurious, spacious room, live entertainment, and the brand new Sage Spa. Listen to the ball game on your drive over as you arrive to celebrate the summer of games. Over $350,000 in cash and prizes, live boxing, music, and comedy in the event center. Make this summer legendary. LegendsCasino.com, your new favorite road trip. Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance.
You gotta love baseball season, but when it comes to your windows, you don't want any curveballs. Rick Riz here, reminding you to trust your clubhouse with locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Experience the difference with high-quality products, expert installation, and top-notch customer service. It's always a home run with Pella. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Just go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
This is Mariners Baseball. The countdown to first pitch continues with the Dan Wilson Show.
Alongside Mariners manager Dan Wilson, let's start with Josh Naylor. How's he feeling today?
Yeah, Josh, he's doing okay. I think a chance for him to just kind of take a step back. It's been a lot on his plate since coming here, and being able to rest that shoulder just a little bit will help him. And obviously, it's just a day-to-day thing, but just a chance for him to kind of step back today.
Hey, we don't get a chance to talk about your training staff very often, but they're the first ones here. They're the last one to leave. It is hours and hours and hours they put in trying to keep guys as healthy as possible. And it's one thing, they're with most of your roster from the start of spring training, so they get to know the players. And for guys that are traded over at the deadline, what does that crash course look like in trying to figure out what's going on with guys?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they come with players come over here. They do have some information on them and what it's been like in the past, but it is a quick, process of getting to know somebody and getting to know how they handle certain things and knowing Josh and what the kind of player he is. It takes a lot he is so focused and so determined. So but you mentioned the staff and you're right, it is an incredible group and you talk about the trainers. It starts in the weight room with our strength and conditioning group as well, the high performance group that we call it, and these guys do a great job. That they coordinate so well together to get the best use or the best workouts for each guy, and it is really a group that collaborates a lot, that communicates a lot, and we've seen the benefits of that on the field.
It's the hardest thing I think about a baseball season is you play every day, so you're trying to find the balance of staying healthy, maintaining strength, doing all those things and getting through the season, which is really hard.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot of different things to sort of look at in terms of that. are you holding weight? Are you losing weight? How much have you had to put in terms of running? There's a lot of different factors to look at throughout the season, and that's what makes these guys so good is they're able to take it all in and then turn around what might be a good workout to have, a good post-game, pre-game, whatever it may be. And again, our guys do an exceptional job.
It's been a wonderful homestand so far. It's a very interesting Tampa team. You have Rasmussen tonight, who's really tough. What makes him so difficult?
Yeah, he is tough, and as a guy that's had a lot of success, and we're going to have to continue to put up our good at bats, and I think guys that like him that get good results is when you get that mistake pitch, you can't miss it. You got to be able to do your damage. So guys will be ready tonight, and I think the interesting thing is he has not gone to the 100 pitch range very often. A guy that kind of is not more in the 80 pitch range at times, so that kind of adds a little bit of a different dynamic, but we'll just see how it plays out tonight. But I know our guys will be ready offensively.
We have some guys that will test you on the bases. You have been running a lot up and down the lineup. Now, put your catcher's hat on, or catcher's mask on, I guess is probably the most appropriate thing. When you have a team that's aggressive, or an individual player or two that's aggressive, how does that change how you catch and what you're doing back there?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, it shouldn't change much, and a big part of our emphasis in spring training this year was controlling the running game, and that's a group effort. It's not just a catcher thing. It starts on the mound and giving catchers time to throw runners out, mixing up your looks, throwing over at different times, and doing the things that they do, to be ready to kind of shut the game down, and there's a number of things that can be done there, and then behind the plate. I think you're just on a raised level of alertness because you just don't know. Obviously, this is a team that will take second or try to take second. They'll try to take third. So it's just not letting your guard down and being ready at all times. And so I'm looking forward to it because it is fun and it's a unique challenge for sure.
Thanks a lot, Skip. Good luck tonight,
Gary. Always a pleasure.
There it is, Mariners manager Dan Wilson.
And that was indeed the Dan Wilson Show right there. Coming up next on The Insider, we have got a treat. We are going to hear from the president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Got all sorts of questions. Big weekend here. And, of course, they are coming off an incredible weekend in Cooperstown. That as the pregame show continues on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to a plate of the finest steaks and seafood at Smokin' Cedar. Enjoy sweeping views from Mount Rainier to Seattle from our heated terrace. The best gaming, dining, hotel, pool, and spa is all at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. The biggest and best in the Northwest.
Muckleshoot. Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious. With multiple engine options and impressive towing, while Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. See your Northwest Chevy dealer.
Sometimes technology stands in the way of getting things done. That's why Pacific Office Automation is your trusted partner in helping solve your business problems. We provide custom office solutions with unrivaled speed, efficiency, and security for your customer, your company, and your community. Whatever your field, whatever your goal, we have your office game plan. Visit PacificOffice.com to schedule a technology assessment today. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
At Fred Meyer, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Fred Meyer shoppers. You never compromise. Fred Meyer. Fresh for everyone.
Whether you're celebrating a graduation or gathering with family and friends, a Mariners Suite is the perfect place to host your crew this summer. Enjoy first-class catering, VIP parking in the Mariners Garage, and exclusive entry via the suite-level Sky Bridge. Plus, take in the game in comfort with padded outdoor seating and an indoor climate-controlled lounge. Suites are available for groups of 14 to 400, starting at $150 per person. Book your suite at mariners.com/suites and make your next Mariners game unforgettable.
Hey golf fans, Dan Wilson here, inviting you to grab your friends and family and head out to the 2025 Boeing Classic. See Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers live at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge from August 8th through the 10th. It's your chance to experience the 20th anniversary of the only PGA Tour champion stop in the Pacific Northwest and see golf's biggest stars. Proceeds benefit the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's a golf experience you won't want to miss. The Boeing Classic at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge from August 8th through the 10th. For tickets, visit BoeingClassic.com.
Hey Mariner fans, Rick Riz here. You know, when it comes to legendary brands, Steel is at the top of the list. Known for their powerful and reliable outdoor equipment, Steel has been a trusted name in equipment for decades. Steel offers a fantastic range of battery-powered products, from chainsaws to blowers, edgers, and mowers. Steel's battery-powered tools deliver the same legendary performance without the hassle of gas. Perfect for all of your yard work needs. Visit your local Steel dealer today. Trusted by me, trusted by the Mariners.
Keep your summer fun going in a new Toyota RAV4, America's best-selling SUV. Now through September 2nd, get 3.99 APR financing on a new gas-powered 25 RAV4. Excludes hybrids. Or lease a RAV4 LE with all-wheel drive for $299 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. A negotiable doc fee of up to $200 may be added. Call 1-888-48-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Mariners pregame. The countdown to first pitch continues. Now, here's Shannon Dreyer with your Mariners Clubhouse Insider.
Going into America's Baseball Hall of Fame was never my goal. I didn't even know there was one until I visited Cooperstown for the first time in 2001. But being here today sure feels like a fantastic dream. Thank you.
A fantastic dream it is to visit Cooperstown, to be enshrined in Cooperstown. Well, only Ichiro and a handful of others know in this game. It is time for the Insider, and we have got a special guest today, Josh Rawitch, the president of the National Baseball Hall of Fame. And I would think that you would be off on an island right now enjoying a little bit of a break, perhaps after an absolutely tremendous weekend and everything that led up to it. But you're in Seattle, and you brought something that a lot of pictures were taken with today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We try to do this after the induction for fans that don't get a chance to get to Cooperstown. We know we aren't the easiest place to get to, as Ichiro likes to say, but obviously we had an incredible turnout of Mariners fans, but we did bring the plaque with us for tonight's game and tomorrow's game at the ballpark. And yeah, as soon as we opened the gates, people were flooding to it, and I think it's going to be that way pretty much nonstop till the end of the 7th inning the next 2 days.
That was pretty cool to take a look at the plaque, to actually touch it, and whoever, made it did a great job, of capturing Ichiro's image, which is amazing. What was that like for you? You got to be obviously a huge baseball fan. You're surrounded by 130 years, 140 years of history of the game of baseball. What was this Hall of Fame like for you, and was it different because of, Ichiro going in and the amount of Japanese attention, first Japanese position player to go in the Hall of Fame? What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, it's just a crazy honor. Obviously, anybody who loves the game and works in the game, and then you have a chance to actually work in Cooperstown, not just me, but the whole staff, we love it. And yeah, there was certainly an international element to it this year that we haven't had before, from a media standpoint, from a fan standpoint. Ichiro's respect for the Hall, you just don't see Hall of Famers. You don't see anybody in the offseason of a year that they're playing come and hang out in Cooperstown in the winter. So you know how much it meant to him. Obviously, we heard in the open how incredible his speech was. We were all rolling, laughing, listening to this guy, and everything about it was just so special this year.
Did you get to hear that speech at all before, or okay?
Yeah, we do. They send it to us usually a couple weeks in advance, and we put it into a binder for them and go over it and make any suggestions. But then ultimately, when they get there, we sit with them and do speech prep. And what's funny is I had read it And so I knew where the laugh lines were going to be. But when he delivered the line about the dinner invitation for this writer, it is expired. I just bust out in this. It's just literally me and two people, is what myself, his wife, and John Shestakovsky from our office, listening to him do it in a ballroom just so they can get used to what the delivery is like. And, oh, man, we were dying laughing. It was so good.
Yeah. You have such a unique job. What's the favorite part of what you do? What do you like the most?
Honestly, it's the memories that you make for people. Like, literally, you walk through the hall, and every day you're watching a grandparent and a kid, their kid, and that person's kid, and they're talking about, like, I grew up loving Julio Rodriguez, and then the parent is like, well, I grew up loving Griffey, and the grandparents are, I loved Alvin Davis, and it just, you watch this all day long, people who have waited a whole lifetime to get there, and it never gets old. Like, literally walking from our office to the conference room, I pass the plaque gallery, and I have to stop and take it in and, like, look at some plaque that I haven't stopped at, and then you listen to the conversations, and it just, I don't know that it'll ever get old. It's so cool.